You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Heritage Field is right across the street from Yankee Stadium, and in both places, it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Texas Rangers in the final game of a 4-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with David Cohn and Paul O'Neill, I'm Michael Kay. Day game after night game means nothing to us. We are ready to roll. But are the Yankees and the Rangers? We'll see. The Yankees have been rolling for a while. I'll tell you what, they have looked great. Unbelievable. 3-0 against the Rangers. They've outscored them. They've out-hit them. They've out-homered them. And most importantly, they have out-pitched them. David, all 3 starters for the Yankees were outstanding so far in this series.
That's right. Pitching, 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 and location, location, location. And David Phelps was very impressive stepping in for CC Sabathia. That really helps the Yankees get over missing Sabathia, maybe even another start. And, of course, what can you say about Kuroda? I mean, dominating performance, in and out, overpowering a great lineup, and then fast Freddie. Well, what a comeback by this guy. He had a really good boogie board slider working last night, and Freddie gave the Yankees exactly what they needed.
All right, let's look at today's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Trying to stop the sweep is Derek Holland, 7-6, 4.92. And trying to complete the sweep for the Yankees, Ivan Nova, 11-6, 4.70. Nova had been struggling, Paul, but his last start looked like he's starting to come out of it.
He had a great start in Toronto. And if you look at some of these highlights, he had a wicked curveball, and that is his start. If he can just go fastball, curveball, you see the big breaker. When he makes mistakes, it's usually on a slider. Sometimes you need to get away from a pitch like that. He's got good enough curveball, good enough sinker that he can be tough.
Well, can he complete the sweep? He's going to need some offensive help. This guy has been on fire in this series, especially since he moved to the number 2 hole in the lineup. When we come back, David Cohn will explain why Swish has been Swishalicious. Swisher has had a great series. 4 hits and 13 at-bats, 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in. That's good for a 3.08 average. It's also good for 3 wins in 3 games against the Texas Rangers. That's David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. Paul O'Neill will rejoin us in just a moment. Nick Swisher seems to be in a spot every single game where something big has to happen, and he usually makes it happen.
Yeah, and I like him in the 2-hole in the Yankee lineup. We've seen Girardi tinker with this lineup. I like him right there at the top. He's finding big spots, and when Swisher gets hot, he doesn't miss his pitches, especially batting left-handed, and then right-handed. When he gets that going as well, that makes him more valuable at the top of the lineup. And when you're hot, you're hot. You can hit a 98-mile-an-hour fastball deep as a game winner, and then even when you get beat, it's it's going to fall in there for a group. So when you're going good, you're going good. Swisher feeling good about it right now.
And he has a flair for the dramatic. He's been living up to it in the first 3 games of this series. This is the finale of the 4-game set. Yankees against the Rangers. Lineups, first pitch baseball, next on Yes. Inspired pizza at Domino's.com and see the progress of your order in real time with Domino's Tracker. By your tri-state area Volkswagen dealers, visit DWDealer.com. And by the Home Depot, more saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Just a gorgeous day here in New York City. A great day for afternoon baseball, and that's what we're about ready to have. Elvis Andrews steps in, Nova's ready, and let's do it here in the Bronx. The first pitch is a strike, and we are underway. Both lineups a little different than the ones you would usually see. Day game after night game, some slumps, and we'll explain as we give you both lineups. Count now 1-1. Rangers have lost 8 straight games here in New York against the Yankees in the regular season. And they've lost the first 3 games of this set. 1-2.
You come into this series, Texas Rangers playing pretty well, talking about the best record in baseball, fighting with the Yankees. Come in here and you're down 0-3. Going into game 4 of a 4-game series.
No Ian Kinsler, no Nelson Cruz in this lineup. And Ron Washington said they need a day off. They are not swinging the bats well. A 1-2.
The surprising thing about Texas coming in here is that they haven't scored runs. I mean, they're an offensive machine. Yankees pitching has shut them down. Yankees have hit a couple big home runs, and again, up 3-0 in this series.
2-2. Chopped over the mound. Nix is there. 1 away. Let's take a look at the Rangers starting lineup presented by Bank of America. Just saw Elvis Andrews, the shortstop, leading off, batting second, and playing second is Michael Young. Josh Hamilton, the DH, will hit third. Cleaning up third baseman Adrian Beltre. David Murphy's in left field batting fifth. The number 6 hitter, the catcher Giovanni Soto. Mitch Moreland at first base, he'll bat seventh. Batting eighth, playing center field today is Craig Gentry. And Mike Holt, the rookie, is in right field, and he's going to bat ninth. Michael Young, 1 hit in his last 14 at-bats. And the breaking ball's a strike. Nova deals. Dribbled slowly toward third, charging McGee, and there's no play. So Young gets an infield single. Let's take a look at the numbers on Ivan Nova. 23 starts, 11-6, high ERA, 20 more hits than innings pitched, 134 strikeouts, opponents hitting 286 against him.
We'll do the McDonald's pitcher scouting report. Bullpen help. Well, he's had great support. His bullpen has a 1.99 ERA in his starts this year. Only 3 AL starters have a lower bullpen ERA. And extra base hits, we've talked about it all year. He leads the major leagues with 72 and throws about 1/3 curveballs in his last 4 starts. And as Paulie said in the pregame show, that's a good formula for him. He's 3-0 with a 1.95 ERA and a 6-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
It's funny when you look at what he does. Every once in a while, you know, he'll throw that really dominating strikeout slider, but he makes a lot of mistakes with his slider. So sometimes you just have to stay away from that pitch. He's got a really good up and down curveball, and you know, as hard as he throws, as much sink as he's got, you know, he can make his fastball 2 or 3 different pitches.
Had 2 home runs yesterday, did Hamilton, 34 on the year. So he's tied with Adam Dunn for the most in the major leagues. And 4 guys tied at 30, Granderson, Cabrera, Encarnacion, and Willingham. And Curtis has today off against the lefty. One. Just missed. Foul ball.
Now the NBA kind of went to the distance of the 3-pointer to kind of even that ball Hamilton hit yesterday, his second one. Should have got a couple points for that. It's one of the longest home runs I've seen here in the new Yankee Stadium. Way
447 feet.
1.5?
Yeah, 1.5 at least.
Count 2-2. Hamilton at the DH today was the center fielder yesterday, and since they moved him to center, he's been playing pretty good baseball. He said, I hit better when I'm having fun, and I have a lot of fun when I play center field. He said, but I'm not demanding to be there. He said, I guess that's why I'm hitting a little better. That one is lined in the left center field. Andrew Jones can't get there. He's going to have to play it up against the wall. Michael Young is at third. They're going to hold him. It's a double for Josh Hamilton.
And Nova keeps adding to that extra base hits total. And Josh Hamilton, we talked last night that, you know, when he makes contact, there it is, that spinning slider. I mean, he makes a lot of mistakes. Tries to go backdoor with this, and Josh Hamilton has been pulling the ball in this series, just hammers it left center field. It's very easy to say from up here, Tony, but it's almost, why do you've seen Josh Hamilton in numerous at-bats in this series go out of the zone, swing at balls. You know, you almost have to just tempt him and not throw him strikes.
Pitch is high to Beltre as the Yankees play the infield back. They'll give up a run on a ground ball.
Sometimes when you're trying to throw a good slider in the dirt is when you hang it, because you get too quick and you try to snap it off too hard. And it kind of looks like that's what Nova does sometimes. And tries to throw that real good one and then leaves it up.
Good fastball up with the count 1-1.
Sort of like a hitter that overswings a little bit. When the guy's throwing real hard, you think you gotta really speed up your swing, and you end up with a slower bat. It's the same thing with pitching. Your arm drags through the zone, and you end up spinning one up in the zone.
1-1. 1-2. Why don't we take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Jones, Ichiro, and Swisher left to right in the outfield. Infield is McGee, Jeter, Nix, and Teixeira. That's third to first. Chris Stewart behind the plate. Russell Martin's the DH, and Nova is on the mound. One-two. Popped up. Shallow left center. That's going to dunk in for a base hit. Hamilton got a good read on it, so he is going to score. Moving to second is Beltre, and he's out. Teixeira cut the ball off, flipped it to Nix to get Beltre, but 2 runs scored, and the Rangers lead 2-0.
You know, again, you get to a position with 2 strikes, and you just get too much of the plate here. This ball's got to be in the dirt. You're looking for a strikeout there. Give yourself a chance by getting something out of the zone completely that a hitter can't get wood on. Josh Hamilton got a really good read on that ball, and that has nothing to do with the third base coach. Beltre obviously saw the throw go through, thinks he can steal second. Way back to the dugout. It's not such a bad feeling. You get thrown out at second, but you just drove in 2 runs.
Count 0-2 on David Murphy.
Pitch right there, Coney. It's just amazing how you give up so many hits on your breaking ball when you can just throw that 93 right on the outside corner. I don't know if it's hard to do, Coney, coming out of the pen, but it looks like, to me, as good as his fastball is, I mean, he could just try to get through that lineup the first time around, throwing the majority of just fastballs, and then find his curveball. I don't know if that's too tough to do to hold that back, but a lot of good pitchers do that.
That's a great point. I mean, you simplify early in the game in the first inning and try not to show your entire repertoire to the first 3 batters of the game. It's very hard to come in the first inning and have all your pitches working.
Popped up. McGee will make the play, and that'll do it. But 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left. Rangers 2, and the New York Yankees coming to bat against Derek Holland. Starting lineup that's going to try is presented by Lexus. This one is different. This is not the one you doodled with in spring training. Derek Jeter, the captain, the shortstop, leads off. Batting second, playing right field, Nick Swisher. The number 3 hitter is the first baseman, Mark Teixeira. Here's where it gets funky. Andrew Jones at left field cleans up. Casey McGee, the third baseman, bats 5th. Batting 6th, hitting under 200, the DH Russell Martin. Then it's Jason Nix, the second baseman, 7th. Batting 8th, the center fielder Ichiro Suzuki. And Chris Stewart will catch, and he's going to bat 9th. So the Yankees have good numbers against lefty starters this year, but that is not your typical Yankees lineup. Take a look at the numbers on the left-hander. Holland, 18 starts, 19 games, 7-6, 4.92, less than a hit per innings pitched. Good. 95 strikeouts, 37 walks, 241 batting average against.
Take a look at the McDonald's pitcher scouting report. Going, gone. He's given up 22 home runs this year, 7th most in the AL, and he's given up 10 over his last 5 starts. And not you again. He's 0-5 with a 9.26 ERA in 7 regular season games against the Yankees. But good luck, lefties. Really tough on left-handed batters since returning from the DL in 7 starts. Lefties have just hit 163, 7 for 43 with 1 extra base hit, including 2 for 20 over the last 4 starts.
Derek has good numbers against him. 9 hits and 16 at bats, hitting .319 overall, 11-game hitting streak. Pitch outside.
You know, Holland's a guy that, looking at him, you wouldn't expect it, but I mean, he's got a mid-90s fastball. He won 16 games last year. To me, he's kind of in the same situation with the Yankees and Andy Pettitte. Can you get him back to his previous stuff where you can trust him going into the playoffs? I looked at his playoff record. He's undefeated in playoff starts, World Series starts as a starter. So he was one of their big guns. But you know, he's 7-6. It's just, he's a better pitcher than that.
Count 3-1 to Jeter.
Yeah, when you drew it up in the preseason, you looked at 2 real tough lefties in this Ranger rotation, and of course, Yu Darvish coming over, a big signing, and well, you really thought that pitching was going to be a strength for Texas this year.
Ground ball is short. Andrews. 1 away. Let's check out the Rangers defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. In the outfield, it's Murphy, Gentry, and Holt. That's left to right. Infield, Beltre, Andrews, Young, and Moreland third to first. Giovanni Soto behind the plate. And Derek Holland, the 25-year-old lefty, is on the mound.
One thing you do have to continually remind yourself, I mean, here's a kid with playoff experience, World Series experience, has won 16 games. He's only 25 years old, so such an upside to him. Texas Rangers have big hopes for him.
There's a strike.
You know where he's from, Michael? Born and raised in Newark, Ohio. Newark, we call it. We talk about a country town.
How close is that to Cincy?
Oh, it's close to Columbus, where I grew up, which is about an hour away, and it's one of those cities, if you blink, you miss it.
So you think it's Newark Airport?
Newark? Yeah. I had bad memories of Newark, Ohio. I pitched in the regionals or something, Coney. Gave up a grand slam in the first inning. Saw all the scouts behind the fence. Remember they used to come sit behind the fence and watch you pitch in high school? Saw them all packing their bags and leaving. I thought it was all over at that point.
And all the radar guns pointing at you.
Yeah, they were all going back in their cases and heading to the cars.
2-2. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. It's really nice. 81 degrees, 53% humidity, 9 miles per hour is the wind. It's mostly sunny.
These are the days that you pay a lot of money for to go find in the Bahamas or Florida in the middle of December, right, Cody?
And you get it free here in the Bronx. Popped up. Moreland. In foul territory makes the play for the second out.
Yesterday, and both of these teams are in control of their division. So you come in here, you lose 3 games. But the one thing, Michael, you brought up, I mean, they have lost, and they're getting used to losing here in Yankee Stadium, and that's not a good thing. Especially when you got to figure to get to the World Series in the American League, you're going to have to go through the Yankees, you're going to have to go through Texas. So these teams are going to end up playing each other sometime.
Count 1-1 to Teixeira. It was great against Holland. 7 for 18, 3 home runs. Look at hip that pitch.
Paul, I look at Holland's delivery. It reminds me of a young Steve Avery, with the Braves before he hurt his shoulder. Steve Avery was a power lefty, right behind Maddox and Glavine.
Talk about it, just a basic 2-pitch pitcher too. A fastball, curveball, never veered away from it, and he got outs. He was tough to see, sneaky fast.
Popped up. Andrews on the outfield grass will make the play, and the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3 against Holland. We go to the second inning. Giovanni Soto will lead off. Rangers lead 2-0. Paul. Today's question, for better or worse, which has been the most surprising aspect of the Red Sox this season? They're coming into the stadium tomorrow. Is it the Beckett-Lester struggling duo, clubhouse drama, injury woes, and Middlebrook's emergence? Text your vote to 42951. Standard text messaging rates apply.
If I look at those choices right there coming into the season, I could have never guessed that Kevin Youkilis would have been traded from that team to another organization as much as he meant to that Red Sox team.
And really has helped the White Sox.
Yeah.
Soto takes outside 1-0. And a strike. Could be the last chance saloon for the Red Sox this weekend. If they have any hopes of catching the Yankees, obviously they're on the periphery even of the wild card, and they jump over so many teams. So 3 games against the Yanks. High drive, left field. It's in the park. Jones makes the play for the first out.
Andrew Jones in left field. That's the sun field here early in the game, but as the afternoon goes on, the sun ends up right in your eyes in left field.
Been a while since we've seen the old flipper sunglasses on top of the hat.
Yeah.
Andrew Jones just decided, I'm just going to put shades on. Just leave them on.
What's better, Paul?
Well, the flip sunglasses are what everybody kind of grew up on, but there was a problem because as you were running at a 45-degree angle, you could lose balls and before you flip the glasses down. So it's much better, much easier just to play with the sunglasses they wear today. They're so clear now, and you can almost get these high-definition glasses where you see the ball better. There's no glare.
Ground ball up the middle. Jeter. And those high def glasses, you get a nice cable package on those too.
That's right. That's right. Costs you a little extra though.
Right, you got the Apple ones now. Check out a little internet in between pitches.
So here's Craig Gentry. Those are the high def glasses Paul's talking about. Count 1-0.
Funny, all the kids probably now, you know, the hairstyles, it's like the Brady Bunch has come back. You know? Everybody's got the big hair again all of a sudden.
My kids don't even have combs. I'm like, how can you get up and not even comb your? It's just like a mop.
And Gentry grounds out to Jeter, and he's easy 1-2-3 inning for Ivan Nova. Future's so bright, he's got to wear shades. to a 2012 MLB World Series game presented by Scott's, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 2-0 Texas. Texas trying to salvage the final game of this 4-game set. It'll be the middle of the Yankee order: Andrew Jones, Casey McGee, and Russell Martin against Derek Holland. Andrew, 1 hit in his last 14 at bats. Pitches low, 1-0. Now 1-1.
Andrew Jones out, kind of the left-handed special. That's where he gets most of his bats. He has fallen on tough time. 5 for his last 41. You see why. A lot of breaking balls. Andrew Jones, there's not a fastball that goes by that he doesn't want to swing at. So always has that presence with the ability to hit a home run, though.
Easy gas from Holland there. 95 miles an hour right on the inside corner. That's what Paulie was talking about. This kid's got some talent.
Just kind of crossfires too, and then it doesn't look like he overthrows, and he can get that ball in on righties. We already talked about how good he is against lefties.
Still 3-2.
3-2 breaking ball. It's almost unfair, Cody. Not supposed to do. That's a fastball count to a fastball.
It used to be, it's changed so much. When you and I broke it, you get screamed at in the dugout if you didn't challenge somebody, in hitters counts.
Fly ball center field. Challenged him at 95 miles an hour, and Jones flies out to Gentry.
Yeah, it was, Coney. Looking back, it was so automatic. 2-0, 3-1, 3-2 were fastball counts, and you would dig in as a hitter. And now I don't even know it's 50-50. 2-0, 3-1, guys are pitching, you call it pitching backwards. It's always off-speed, breaking balls.
Especially in the National League. It seemed like the National League was more of a traditional, tougher league with the pitcher hitting. I got yelled at in the dugout. I remember Mike Schmidt yelling at me, "Challenge me!"
Threw a couple of those out. It goes with the frustration as a hitter. You're in a hitter's count, and then you make it out. You kind of take it out on the pitcher, like you're just going to lay one right in there for you.
The 0-1. 1-1.
You kind of challenge your manhood a little bit, Paul. When you're out there on the mound, I didn't know what to think on the mound. You're a rookie out there, and you got some veteran that's a superstar yelling at you, calling you names.
My first experience with Mike Schmidt in Philadelphia. It was the first year I got called up. It was like our second road trip. We go into Philadelphia, and he's already marked himself as a future Hall of Famer, and makes an out his first time up, and they're booing going back to the dugout. I'm thinking, my God, what do you got to do in the major leagues not to get booed in your hometown?
Probably don't slump in Philly.
Yeah, don't make an out in Philly.
Maybe the biggest change in the big leagues from the old vet stadiums to what they got going on now in Philly with that beautiful new ballpark.
Skied the other way. Olt is there. And on the warning track, he makes the play to retire McGee. 2 outs.
It's funny, you see Holland kind of talking to himself there. And as a pitcher, even sometimes you get outs. That it wasn't the pitch you wanted to make. And we talked about he's got good enough stuff to get away with it once in a while. But, if you make enough mistakes, I don't care who you are, you're going to get hit. Still balling himself out there. Ball up a little bit.
Didn't quite get it in where he thought he wanted to. Got it up, though, and beat him.
Russell Martin pops it up right side. And it'll make the seats.
Would you say, Michael, the Rangers are still 6 up in the West?
They are 6 up.
Yeah, this is
for the Angels and the A's.
Kind of what the Yankees went through a couple weeks ago when they were struggling. That nobody in that division is really stepping up and hot now. So nobody's picking up games. The Athletics are definitely cooled off, and the Angels, you just scratch your head and wonder, are they going to make that run at some point?
Yankees have a 6-game lead over the O's and 7 over Tampa Bay, which was the victim of a perfect game yesterday.
Good place to be as a manager when you have a 6-game lead, and day game after a night game, you can give some guys some rest. And you've won 3 games in a series, so I mean, this is the time of the year where managers start to look towards the playoff, trying to get their guys, rest, keep them healthy, so you go into that October fresh with your superstars. Kinsler hanging out on the bench.
Grounded deep to third, backhanded nicely by Beltre. Boy, can he play that position.
Right.
And he guns down Martin for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We played 2 here in the Bronx. It's the Rangers 2, the Yankees nothing. It'll be Olt, Andrus, and Young coming up. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. We go to the third. Mike Olt leads off, and he hammers that one in the right center field. That ball is going to be off the wall. Ichiro fields and fires in, and Olt picks up a double.
Talked about the promise of Olt, and they brought him up for a right-handed bat. You see why. He's got great power, an unbelievable power numbers in the minor leagues. Came from Double-A, 22, 23 years old. I heard him talking to Lee Mazzilli in the clubhouse the other day, saying that 11 years, he had his 11th birthday. It was a surprise party. You're thinking, how long ago that, it's only like 10 or 11 years ago. And he had a big surprise party at the old Yankee Stadium.
Lincoln scoreboard 2-0 Texas. That was Andrus at the plate.
If
listen real hard, you can almost hear the screams from Brantford, Connecticut. You know, I mean, the pride of the Hornets. Of course, the Yukon Huskies, too.
I think you have to be a little bit extra special to make it to this level when you come out of the Northeast. Because in Florida, you can play every single day. In California, the same deal. But in the Northeast and all those northern states, you're really locked into a couple of months, 3-4 months of playing.
Yeah, you look at the draft, and they're definitely dominated by Florida, California, Texas, warm weather climates. But if you're a scout, a kid at that age might be groomed a little bit more from playing more, but there's certain talents and speed, your ability to throw the ball at a velocity that you can see that can just, you have to judge the ceiling of these young players.
Strike. How'd those scouts come back at you? Got tattooed giving up that grand slam.
They came back and watched me hit a little bit because I ended up, actually when I was drafted, I thought I was going to be a pitcher. Big, tall lefty, and told me they were put me in the outfield. If it didn't work out, I could always go back to pitching. Tony, you wielded lumber in high school, right?
I did. I thought for a minute too they might give me a shot to swing the bat, and then when I got to the rookie ball, I looked around and said, no, not going to happen.
What position?
I was kind of bounce around, short and third base. I tried to be George Brett growing up in Kansas City. That's how I got my nickname, George. That's when I went to the Mets. I tried to hit like him. Keith Hernandez said, "Who do you think you are, George Brett?" And next thing you know, George. That was my nickname with the Mets.
There's Michael Young with runners on first and second and nobody out. We're in the top of the third inning. It's 2-0 Rangers. Now 1-0. Michael Young, a special player in this Rangers franchise. First in games played, first in hits, third in RBIs, first in runs, doubles, and triples, and he trails Juan Gonzalez and Rafael Palmeiro in ribbies.
First in leadership and attitude as well.
Good hitter, good player. You just look at this situation, though, and Nova just cannot find a groove. And where the game has changed, I mean, Michael Young, sure, he's a great hitter, a lot of hits, but you bunt a couple guys over and just put him in a hole again, you could bury the Yankees early.
The one problem with bunting here is you lose Josh Hamilton because the Yankees would probably intentionally walk in.
Sure, but to have bases loaded with a struggling pitcher, in my mind, if I'm a manager, I'll take that.
All right, Rothschild wants to stop this right here, so he gets to the mound. Is this a scolding going on right now, David, or is it mechanical information?
It's mechanical. It's picking up your catcher. You can see him nodding to Stewart, the catcher. Pick up his glove, slow yourself down, kind of push the reset button.
Let those scoldings go well with you out there on Coney. You're chapped anyway because things aren't going well. The pitching coach wants to come out and kind of get in your face too. Every once in a while you need it, I would assume.
Well, the old line about Art Fowler, who used to be Billy's pitching coach, he'd go out to the mound and he'd go, "I don't know what you're doing wrong, but you're ticking Billy off." The 3-0. There's a strike.
My favorite story about a guy going to the mound, and Rick Sutcliffe was here the other day, and he was in Cincinnati. It was late in the game, and Don Zimmer was the manager, and he had given up a couple home runs. Zim came stomping out there, and Sutcliffe was yelling at him all the way out there. Fouled out of play, and Sutcliffe, even before he got to the mound, said, "You can't take me out of this game. You can't." Zim finally got to the mound. He said, "I ain't taking you out. I'm giving him a chance to reload those fireworks out in the right field." Zim was something.
3-2. And he walked him. So the bases are loaded, but now they're loaded for Josh Hamilton. And this game right now could be hanging in the balance.
Yeah, this is kind of a troubled time for Nova. It's just he looked so confident early in the year, and right now he's just seems like he's trying to rush through to get the outs or to get out of the inning, and he's not making the pitch by pitch that he needs to do to get some of these hitters out.
Foul back.
You read a lot into the body language, especially when things start to go bad, and that tells the story, especially with a young pitcher. And Nova with a world of talent, but you got to you got to understand he's still developing emotionally. He's developing his pitches. You can see in that first inning when he gave the double to Hamilton, his body reaction is, quick to get the dobber down, quick to react to another extra base hit. As he jumps up 0-2 on Hamilton, though, right here.
2 fastballs too. I mean, and Josh Hamilton, believe me, he's coming out of the dugout swinging, so he's got ahead now. Again, you can't rush to try to get the out here. You have to make 2 or 3 pitches to make him get out of the zone. And he did.
Big strikeout of Hamilton. Very big. Let's take a look at how they went after Hamilton. The pitch by pitch brought to you by Mazda.
Well, this is the aggressive formula you want. Use that fastball. Get it out away. Double right up. Okay, we're going to go right back out there in the corner and go to the curveball. Down in the dirt. Trust that your catcher's going to block it.
Dials it up to 96. His teammates have noticed that he throws harder in these sorts of situations. And they wonder why he does that. Why don't you just throw hard all the time? But adrenaline kicks in. All of a sudden he's at 96. Grounded to third. And they'll come home to get the force. They do. And Chris Stewart had a fine home plate. Almost wasn't standing on it, but they do get the force for the second out.
Those 2 huge outs for Nova, and this is where you can't lose your concentration. You still have bases loaded, but you've got an unbelievable opportunity to get out of this inning without anything. Good play by McGee.
Wow, very close to not hitting that plate.
Hit too slow to turn 2, so just make sure.
I guess his heel caught the corner. Murphy swings and misses.
There's the heel. Right on the black.
The 0-1. Grounded foul. Quickly 0-2 and 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, that's the formula. He's got to stay in attack mode, Nova's stuff. And Paul, you said it the first inning. He looked like he's trying to come out and show every pitch he's got, and try to see what's working instead of just simplifying and using that good fastball.
I'll tell you what, this might be one of the best mound visits of all time if he gets out of this.
Two. 2-0. Rangers lead, but looking for more here in the third. Missed outside, 97 miles an hour.
I mean, everybody's heard it. You don't want to go 3-2 bases loaded. I mean, are you a true believer in that?
Not necessarily. It depends on the sequence and the hitter.
Popped up and out of play.
Greg Maddux, the Hall of Famer with the Cubs, used to intentionally try to get to 3-2 so he could throw his changeup.
Throw a changeup every time.
Because he figured that you think the onus is on the pitcher, but there's pressure on the hitter too. 3-2. He doesn't want to take called third strike. Maddux would just throw a little dead fish up there. Throw it for a strike.
Swing and a miss. Bases loaded, nobody out, and he does not allow a run. What a pick-me-up for Nova and the Yankees. Larry Rothschild gave the pep talk and likes the results.
When the Yankees take on the Blue Jays, the first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive an old school Yankees pennant courtesy of Goldenberg's Peanut Chews. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849.
Lincoln scoreboard 2-0 Texas. A big bounce back for Ivan Nova. Bases loaded, nobody out, and he gets out of it. Jason Nix takes a strike.
Well, you got to be shaking your head as a pitcher. Bases loaded, nobody out. Josh Hamilton, Belcher, middle of the lineup. You're in your mind, you got to start thinking control. You know, just don't damage control. And all of a sudden, you go back to the dugout, not giving up anything.
Yeah, guys were scrambling down in the bullpen. I saw Mike Harkey get up and sit back down out there.
Base hit, right center field by Jason Nix. Makes a big turn. He'll stop right there. So that's the Yankees' first hit of the afternoon. Boy, Nix has done a nice job for them. He has 6 hits in his last 17 at bats. And he knows what to do. He's a veteran. He can run, play a lot of positions. One more of the Yankees bench bombers that has just done a great job for this team this year.
You can turn into an everyday player. Cano with a neck and Alex on the DL.
Ichiro with a bunt. Beltre there.
Wow.
And he makes a nice play. Beltre can really play that position as Nix moves to second.
Cody, you know as well as I do, those bare hand plays aren't easy because there's so much spin on the ball, and you just have to catch them perfectly clean, or you know, you just don't get a grip on the ball. And obviously Ichiro, everybody knows his speed, and he kind of bobble, and he's safe.
You know, I'd have liked to seen him take this to first base with this bunt, because that guy's got a lot of gold, and a left-handed pitcher falling off towards third base, and Moreland doesn't move so well, so it's much harder. But if he could have taken that bunt to the first base side, he might have had a chance.
They give him a sacrifice on that, although he's clearly bunting for a hit. Here's Chris Stewart.
I don't know if you know this, Coney, but that's one of the rules Michael doesn't like. We've commented on it a few times. I don't like that sacrifice here.
Ichiro Suzuki. He's got 3,800 hits between the States and Japan. He's bunting in a 2-0 game, bottom of the third. I don't mind him bunting for a hit there, I guess, but what do I know? Here's the 1-0. count 2-0.
Oh, it's a nice sunny day. You gave me the Bigelow tea report. Did that well. Want to bite of my sandwich?
No.
No?
Not a pulled pork fan. Grounded to third. Foul ball.
You see Beltre, I mean, he moves over there. He's come in, he's barehanded balls, he's caught short hops. At this ball's foul, and he still got to the ball. He's struggling a little bit with the bat, but he's had a great year. Been above 300 most of the year. I believe Olt watches him every day and thinks, how am I ever going to get to my true position at third base?
I'm taking a look in that Yankee bullpen, guys, and that has got to be one of the coolest seats in the house. I would love to sit there and watch that game. The whole stadium's in front of you. Great eye line, just great.
Catch some rays.
Oh,
Take your little Tommy Bahama mat they gave us last night.
popped up to the second out.
Let me paint a picture for you, Coney. Last night, the giveaway, the Tommy Bahama beach mat. Michael out there all oiled up in his Speedo. Bronzed. How's that looking eye, Jeff, Coney?
This pulled pork doesn't look so good anymore.
Pretty much have me speechless, O'Neal. Here's Jeter at the plate.
I'll join you out there on that bench, Michael. It's a good place. I agree with you.
Jeter 157 hits. He's the active major league leader in hits because Melky Cabrera has been suspended. Derek also sporting an 11-game hitting streak. He grounded out to short in the first inning.
And it really is amazing. And you talk about Jeter every single day about the things he does for this team. But coming into the year, Michael, could you ever, I mean, would think he'd be up in the 320 range, 318 going into today? He was over 320 yesterday.
No, he had a great year last year after the injury. So I don't put anything past this guy. I really don't. I don't know if I would have predicted it, but it's not shocking.
The thing is, you know, he's human, and that chase for 3,000 got to him a little bit. He finally admitted it at the end. I tell you, Paul, you know, that's such a huge milestone. And so much pressure on Jeter, and he had the HBO special following him around every day. And you're only human.
Grounded to third. Oh, what a play by Beltre. And a nice stretch and scoop by Moreland. Beltre took away an extra base hit and took away a run from the Yankees. He can move at third base. That is a tough play. Then he fires across the diamond, and a nice stretch by Moreland. Josh Hamilton is one of 3 Texas Rangers to win a batting title. Who are the other 2? We'll find that out in the bottom of the 4th. See the guy in the sunglasses? That's our good buddy Sweeney Birdie of WFAN, their Yankee reporter. And next to Sweeney is his wife Jessica, and on Jessica's lap is little baby Caroline, Sweeney's daughter. So Sweeney with a rare day off, spending it here at the stadium. Luckily, Caroline has Jessica's looks and not Sweeney's. Ground ball and through for a base hit for Suno. Let's take a look at Beltre's play that ended the bottom of the 3rd. Just an unbelievable play.
He's made 3 or 4 already today, and this is kind of an in-between hop stab. And on the other end, Moreland does a great job of reaching across the bag, getting out of the way of the runner, but this is a tremendous play going down the line. It's going to end up being a double. Plays like that, boy, you got to love on the mound, Coney, huh?
Wow. And Moreland, too. That ball almost popped through Jeter's legs as he was running to first. Thank you very much.
Holland was happy, and Moreland swings and misses. The count 0-1.
You could can that one right there, Coney. That one that's got that sharp break on it that ends up off the plate inside.
Just eat up left-handed batters all day.
Right back to Nova. There's 1. And there's 2.
Once in a while, Coney, you see these pitchers, they get the ball right back to them, and they're not used to making this throw. Nova gives Jeter a good throw that gets a double play. Everyone, if you ever see that pitcher turn around and there's a hesitation, this ball could go anywhere, but Nova got rid of it quick.
Hard one hopper right to his glove, too. Just, you know, that's just bad hitting, right?
Yeah. Well, the important thing there is you've got to know as a pitcher who's covering, and then they'll tell you before the pitch. Because when you spin, you want to be looking, towards the second baseman or the shortstop on who's covering second base.
Right back to Nova. And that'll do it. Might have hurt himself, might have pulled something the way he fielded that ball. And he's going to walk off the mound slowly. That is not a good sight. We'll take a closer look when we get back. But he bent awkwardly as he made the play on Gentry, got up gingerly, and made the out. they'll have to make a decision if Nova can't go. We'll try to see exactly what happened, but it was awkward on the mound. David, what do you think happened here?
It's hard to say. You know, you get your spikes caught and you see a little twist of the knee or maybe a growing. But right there, that reaction tells you. Little twinge. We'll have to wait to see. The Yankee bullpen, nothing going on as of yet.
There's a strike.
First thing I thought was the knee, because he gets his knee kind of buckled under him. And obviously, we're just guessing at this point.
Really weird how, you know, the injuries in baseball, you know, you train for what you do every day. You throw in the bullpen, you do your sprints, you do your running. But then there's these reaction things that put your body in a position that you're not accustomed to, and that's how the injuries happen when you're playing every single day.
Now, there's no urgency to get anybody warming right now, because if he can't go, and you'll see he's trying to stretch something out and walks off very gingerly, the reliever who comes in will have as much time as he needs to warm up on the mound, because he's coming in because of the injury. So we'll see what happens in the fifth. We're at the bottom of the fourth, 1-2 count on Swisher. 2-2. Rothschild and Girardi talking immediately after Nova went down into the clubhouse. Count 3-2.
Remember, like, Coney, as you became a veteran, that they would come in and they would ask you, and can you go, can you do this? And it was pretty much up to you. They trusted you. But younger players, it's like Larry Rothschild and Joe Girardi will make the decision for him.
High pop up left side. And makes the seats out of play.
Much more nowadays. It's almost reversed. You know, if you were a young player, you didn't even dare go in the trainer's room. You know, you were afraid to say anything because then you'd be labeled as being soft or being a wimp. Nowadays, it's just reversed. I mean, if you could be honest, then that's what the organizations are looking for, or they will just take the decision out of your hands. I remember walking to the trainer's room with the Royals, and one time, and Lee May and Hal McRae just got up. What are you doing in there? You shouldn't even see the trainer's room.
You taking a tour? It's funny because in the old stadium, you remember, you could hear what was going on in the training room, and it was right off the the doorway of the locker room. And now in the new Yankee Stadium,
grounded and bobbled there by Belcher. One away.
I mean, you almost have to take a taxi cab back to the training room.
Let's see the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz. Josh Hamilton is one of 3 Texas Rangers to win a batting title. Who are the other 2?
Michael Young did it once.
Julio Franco and Michael Young, 14 years apart.
The great Julio Franco. What a long career he had. I think he's still playing somewhere.
He's down in Winter Ball.
Down in Mexico somewhere.
56.
Playing.
A-Rod hit the 350s a couple times for Texas. Couldn't master a batting champ.
He was all over the Triple Crown a couple of years down there.
Without a bat, one of the better places to hit.
Grounded to short. Andrews guns down to Sheriff for the second out.
It was funny, Michael. Remember 10-15 years ago, Texas could never win because it was too hot down there, and they just every year it would catch up to them. And now that they're a good, solid team, the heat and everything, it's not talked about anymore. They might deal with it a little bit different. They don't hit every day and things like that, but it has nothing to do with. I mean, good talent wins whether it's hot or cold.
Well, that was always a thought, they couldn't win because of the extraordinary heat. And for a long time, when Bobby Valentine was a manager there, he had them taking BP in shorts and T-shirts. He didn't want them in uniform. But you can almost use it to your advantage because you're used to the heat and the visiting team's not.
I was talking to Jackie Moore before the thing, and there's a lot of times he said that even on a 3-game series, they'll only hit on the field once. A lot of their batting practice, you see Jackie there on the bench, is done in the cages, which obviously are air conditioned and a lot cooler, but you know, it saves players. I always loved as a hitter to hit on the field. I just felt like I had a better feel.
You got to see where it's going. It's kind of like, you know, hitting a golf ball into a net. You can't see where the ball goes. You know, you got to see what happened with that.
Stoney, you never complained when they canceled BP, though. You didn't mind hanging out in the locker room for a day or two.
Nothing worse than a starting pitcher. You're out there shacking all day. That's how Mo got hurt.
The 0-2.
Well, Mo loved to shag, though. That was his routine.
It's not like it was something new. I mean, he's been doing that since day one up here.
Swing and a miss. Jones down on strike. So 1-2-3 inning for Derek Holland. We go to the 5th. Texas 2, Yankees nothing. Holt will lead off. A little bit later on, Ivan Nova is back on the mound, so that is a good sign. The Yankees will watch him closely as Mike Holt will lead off here in the 5th. Texas 2, Yankees nothing. There's a strike. As Nova was warming up, Larry Rothschild studying him, seeing if he's landing okay, striding the right way. Pitch is high. Now, you guys mentioned hitting on the field, BP, and that Texas has been hitting indoors. And Josh Hamilton had a game for the ages at Camden Yards to see the Cadillac scoreboard 2-0. And it was an overcast day, threatening, and they took into a BP. He had 4 home runs. Line drive right at McGee. 1 away. And Hamilton said, I love to take indoor batting practice. I have better games when I take indoor batting practice. And he was asked why. He said, because when you're on the field, you're trying to drive the ball, which you shouldn't. He said, if you're in an indoor batting cage, you can't look for distance. You're only trying to square up the ball and hit it right. He said, so I think most hitters would rather take indoor batting practice.
It took a lot of extra work in the cage, and very true. You don't try to do too much with balls. You don't hook balls foul trying to hit them out. You know, you square the ball, you stay inside the cage, obviously, but there's something about getting loose, taking fly balls. It was back to that schedule thing. Is this what you're used to doing?
Andrews fouls it out.
know, we see the Yankees take one of the most animated batting practices every day. They have these little games they play, and Jeter leading it, and it's situational hitting, and you can't do that in the cage.
Right.
You know, and I think it builds camaraderie. You see Cano and Jeter getting on each other. You know, okay, man on third, 1 out. You got to hit a sac fly here, and you don't get it done. They're screaming at each other. And
tell you what, they take it serious. I walked out there. It wasn't this series. Last time we were in town, Michael and I were doing the games, and I walked out. Girardi said, "All right, you're the judge." Well, I had to judge base hits and not. And Jeter hit a line drive into kind of right center. I said, "That's an out." And he looked back. I said, "Gee, they play you that way." I said, "They're not playing me there." They take it serious.
So when Ichiro first was traded in Seattle, he got incorporated into that game quickly, and they were all over him, and he loved it. You know, so there's more to it than just mechanics, and certainly Josh Hamilton makes a great point. Something about batting practice, you know, for the hitters, or you just, you know, that's how you really get close. You build chemistry, you push each other, you get on each other, you keep each other honest.
3-2.
If you look back, I mean, that was one of Joe Torre's biggest things, is you stretch as a team. And you didn't, in the old days, you know, the extra guys would stretch together, the pitchers, and I mean, we stretched as a team. And I agree with you, Coney. There was a lot of fun, a lot of stories that went on during those times.
Now, people don't know this. The three of us stretch up here as a team. We don't do it individually.
Where do you think Ichiro learns this stuff, right, Michael?
That's right.
Stretch our vocal cords.
That's right.
Michael, you've got some strong ones. As much as you talk radio, TV, you got it all working. Make me hoarse thinking about it.
The 3-2. Fly ball center field. Ichiro is there for the second out. So 2 down, and that's going to bring up Michael Young. The only 2 runs in this game in the first inning for the Rangers. An infield single by Young, a double by Hamilton, putting runners on second and third, and then Beltre singled in both runs.
And a great sign for the Yankees that Nova seems to be okay. 2 quick outs here.
Young a little late on that one. Fouls it away. Do you find it unusual? That was a fastball right there, David, 93, which is usually where he sits. But when he got into trouble in the third inning, was 97. Is that strange? Should he be throwing harder when there's no one on base?
Well, I think part of it's mechanical, too. You know, sometimes from the stretch, less can go wrong, and mechanically you can be more in sync, whereas from the windup, sometimes there's going to be a little more variation because there's more moving parts in a windup as opposed to the stretch. And I think with Nova, I think a lot of those extra base hits and some of the hanging pitches he's thrown have been mechanical and just being in sync.
Lofted to right field. Swisher is there, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Ivan Nova. We're halfway through here at the stadium. Yankees down by 2. McGee, Martin, and Miggs coming up. Now we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Yankee offense trying to start something on the Cadillac scoreboard. Texas down 2 or up 2-0 as the Yankees are trying to sweep this 4-game set, which would be a tremendous accomplishment against a good team. And the Rangers are trying to avoid being swept by a really good Yankee team. This is a good test for both teams. McGee flied out to the warning track in the second inning in right field. Count 0-1 on Casey. The 0-1. 1-1.
Good sign for the Rangers. Holland, we talked about his struggles a little bit. Just, he's a better pitcher than his record, but his last outing against Detroit, one of the best he's had all year, and he's backing it up again against the Yankees.
Grounded to short. Andrews. One away. Holland comes into this game 6 starts previously against the Yankees, 0-5, 9.26, but so far today, he's done everything he has to do. See that magnetic necklace, which has become more ornate with some teams around the neck of Derek Holland. Martin grounds it to first, flips it to Holland, 1 away or 2 away. Yesterday, R.A. Dickey was pitching against the Reds, and the home plate umpire made him cut off these cloth bracelets that he had around his gloved hand, and he had it on the entire year, and his 2 daughters had given it to him, and they made him cut it off because you're not supposed to have any kind of bracelet or any kind of ornamentation at all around your wrist, but I guess it's okay around the neck.
That usually comes from the visitor's dugout. From the other side, either the manager or some of the players say something, and obviously by the rules the umpire has to enforce it.
And Dickey was pretty chapped, and he probably had his worst game of the year. He said it wasn't cause and effect, though. He said, I'm not going to blame it on that. He said, but he did admit that he was upset that they made him cut off the bracelets his daughters had given him, and he had worn all year. Count 1-1. You could technically, you see those laces hanging off Holland's glove. The Yankees could complain and make him tie that into a knot or cut off, because that's a distraction. It could be to a hitter. But the reason sometimes those things go untouched is because your guys have the same thing going on. They don't want them to be bothered. Lou Piniella told a story on center stage about how there was a pitcher that was loading the ball up on the mound. George Steinbrenner called down to the dugout and said, I want you to go get him checked. Why don't you go and have the umpire check him? And Lou said, because our guy's doing it too. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Strong inning for Holland. He is retired 9 in a row. 5 in the books. It's 2-0 Texas. Let's go to the 6th. Josh Hamilton leads off. on Yes is brought to you in part by Burger King. Come play family food where every game piece has a prize. By the professionals at your Tri-State GMC dealer. And by J&R Music and Computer World. In the background, the skyline of Manhattan. We're here in the Bronx where we go to the 6th inning and the Rangers lead the Yankees 2-0. And Josh Hamilton digs in against Ivan Nova. Rangers have the bases loaded, nobody out in the third. Hamilton up. Good chance to break open the game, but Nova struck him out. Boy, Hamilton always seems to swing at the first pitch. High fly ball, deep left center. And Andrew Jones couldn't see it. It got lost in the sun. And then the ball bounces into the bullpen for the Rangers.
We talked about it as the game goes on. The sun it keeps coming over and over, and you get to a point. And Andrew Jones did all he could. You get to a point, you follow it low. You go as low as you can, and if it doesn't come out, nothing you can do. You see, he didn't even stab at the end, so that ball never came out of the sun. He scored a double. Bad feeling, Cole. Probably.
Beltre takes inside. Ten-time Gold Glove winner in center field for the Braves, but lost the battle with the sun right there. Beltre gets plunked on the inside fastball, so he'll take first. Runners on first and second, nobody out.
This is the weird thing, and then obviously you've had a ball lost in the sun, but the weird thing about Nova, I mean, last inning you're wondering if he's injured, and he just mows right through 1, 2, 3, and then the next inning he's like a different pitcher again, and it's just a little inconsistent. As good as stuff that he has.
Here's David Murphy. Count 1-0. Foul back. 1-1.
Pitch count's pretty decent. 80 pitches here. Top of the 6th.
Missed outside, 2-1.
Coney, is that the one you're looking for as a pitcher?
Well, that changes the whole at bat, maybe the whole inning right there. The difference between 2-1 and 1-2 on a borderline pitch, really close. Saw a lot of those borderline pitches go the pitcher's way over through the course of this series.
There's a strike, gets the off-speed call. Count 2-2. Serve the other way and out of play.
You know, earlier in the game, I was doing that read about the back to school. It's amazing to me that in the Midwest we're going back to school next Monday, and it's always later here in New York. It's amazing to me that summer is in the rearview mirror right now. It just goes so quick. Exciting time as a baseball player. You know, as a kid, you look forward to summer, and as a baseball player, you look forward to the fall in October. So it's kind of weird.
And both of these teams have big plans for October, the Yankees and the Rangers. Rangers have been to the World Series 2 years in a row, lost both times.
That's just not right, Paulie. That's just too soon.
Telling me.
3-2. Served into left center. That ball is going to fall in front of Ichiro. Josh Hamilton will score. It's an RBI single for David Murphy. Stopping at second is Beltre. It's 3-0 Rangers.
Texas did what good teams do. They got a break. You know, the Hamilton gets a ball lost in the sun, but then, you know, next thing you don't know, but hits somebody, and then he misses with a pitch up and away. Same trio that he got, you know, went through with bases loaded. Now throwing a run up and started the big rally.
Yeah, Murphy quietly under the radar has had a really good year for the Rangers. High on base percentage guy, breaks down the swing right there. Just punch it.
Soto shows bunt, takes inside. That base hit for Murphy, broken 0 for 10.
Tough out.
Corners in on here. You stay at double play depth, but you keep the corners in.
Snap throw to second. Beltre dives back. Cody Epley getting ready. Another throw, and this one saved by Jeter from going into center field.
It's almost like automatic now. If a guy, you know, misses a bunt, you'll see the runner. You have to get out here and start leaning towards third to get there. Get caught off balance. Good throw might have had him.
Bunted beautifully right to Teixeira. He'll flip to Nick, sacrifice successful. 3-4, runners move up. All right, it's time now to take a look at the results of our Toyota Tex poll. The question, for better or worse, what has been the most surprising aspect of the Red Sox this season? Here's how you voted. 49% say the clubhouse drama. Then the Beckett and Lester struggling. Injury woes and Middlebrook's emergence not too big for the voters.
The emergence didn't go up too high.
No.
4%.
Infield is in, but the Yankees will intentionally walk Mitch Moreland.
I really thought that Soto got away with that bunt there. You know, first and second, you got to bunt the ball to third base, generally speaking. And you remember Keith Hernandez was the guy. If you bunted the ball to first base, he would have charged it and fired that ball over to third for a force out. That ball was bunted kind of hard too, but Teixeira, and I guess maybe not really charging or not in a position to charge that hard. You get a look here. If Teixeira anticipates, he's coming. Boy, if he gets there, he's got to play at third right now. Get there. Right to third for the force out.
So an intentional walk to Moreland. That loads the bases. Just talking about Boston, so let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers. Brought to you by Verizon Fios. Introducing Verizon Fios Quantum Speed. Internet twice as fast as anything America has ever seen. We'll see Franklin Morales. Good ERA against Phil Hughes. Has bounced back from a bad start in Toronto. 11-10, 4.44. And our coverage begins at 6 p.m. on the Yes Network, and the game starts around 7:07 on My 9. Yankees played back, double play depth for Craig Gentry. Count 1-0.
You know, you look at Boston coming in here this series with all the things that are going on there, and you think about the American League East and what it could have been, because now that Baltimore is in the mix, Tampa's had injuries. Obviously, Toronto's a much better team. They've had some really, really bad injuries, and Boston's just kind of fallen apart. So you put those guys on paper as good as they should have been. I mean, you'd be lucky to win 85, 90 games in this division.
Big trouble brewing for the Yankees. 1 run in, bases loaded, and a 2-0 count on Gentry. Now 3-0.
Sometimes I think, Coney, that he gets rambling too quick and is kind of looking ahead at what he wants to happen instead of concentrating on the the pitch at hand, and it just gets himself in a mess.
Strike.
Yeah, none of those first 3 pitches anywhere near up and out of the zone. Still watching his legs. I mean, obviously he had a little scare there with him. I'm not sure if he twisted his knee or his groin. He kind of limped off the mound, but getting close to 100 pitches as well.
Popped up right field side, and a long run for Swisher, but the ball falls foul.
Always wondered, Coney, if you want that with 2 strikes on a batter, if you want that ball caught, a diving play, short, it's going to be foul. You dive in there, make the play, but you're giving up a run. Or do you trust yourself to try to get a strikeout here?
I'd like a shot at a strikeout. That's just personal preference. It's hard to turn down outs, but even on a 3-2 count here, I want a chance to make a pitch.
3-2. Grounded softly to short. They'll get the force at third. A run will score. It's 4-0 Texas. So Gentry picks up a ribby on the fielder's choice.
Sometimes you can make too good of a pitch, Coney, and I mean, that ball got in on him that was hit, wasn't hit hard enough to really do anything. Couldn't go home, couldn't turn a double play. Jeter takes the easiest way and just takes the out at third base.
Here's Mike Olt. Olt has made what they say is the biggest jump that you can make. He goes from Double-A to the majors, just skipping over Triple-A, and he had an on-base percentage plus slugging percentage of .977 down in Double-A. I don't think anybody anymore jumps from A to the majors, but Double-A to the majors, you're skipping over that one level, and so far he hasn't been overmatched. From Connecticut, went to UConn. The 2-0.
Harper do last year. Did he start off at A-ball or did he start off at Triple-A? What was it?
I think he started off at A-ball.
All right.
Yeah. Epley getting ready. 3-0. And he hasn't been close on some batters. So now he walks Alt to reload the bases, and that's going to do it. As Joe Girardi wants to stop it right here, 4-0. The way Holland is pitching doesn't feel too good. He doesn't need any more runs on the board. So this has been a strange outing for Ivan Nova. He gave up the 2 runs in the first, now 2 runs here in the 6th, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs. So Joe's going to go to Epley to face Andrews when we get back. Ivan Nova, not helped by Andrew Jones being victimized by the sun out there, but he has certainly not been able to stop the bleeding. Wasn't sharp at times today and has come back to hurt him. So now the Yankees go to Epley, who's really done a good job for them. And this is a big batter, Epley against Andrews, because this game is 4-0 right now. And with this Yankee lineup, which doesn't have a lot of their good left-handed hitters, you know how many runs they could actually put on the board. Nova just has to sit and watch. If Epley gets out, those runners on base are his responsibility. He has 5 2/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts.
Tony, you know more than I do, but about the pitching part of this, but it's just like Nova just goes in and out. I mean, he'll have great innings and then does not carry over to the next inning.
Well, he's actually talked about that himself, you know, working on the mental side of it, grinding it out. Oh, he's a well-liked, highly emotional guy, great talent. Still evolving, still learning.
Looks to Andrews is outside. Paul, we looked it up. Last year, Harper started A, went to AA. This year, he started in AAA and then got promoted to the bigs.
It's a fast track there, any way you look at it.
Especially when you're a teenager. The 1-0. Strike, 1-1.
A little chirping coming from the Ranger bench. Marty Foster says that's a strike, first of all. And
he says that's a strike.
Saw Ian Kinsler get thrown out of the game last night, not in the lineup today, and we've seen a lot of grumbling coming from the Ranger bench the entire series. Not happy with the strike zone, at least on the hitter side.
Count 2-2. Moreland's at third, Gentry's at second, and Olt is at first. And now it's 3-2. Everybody's going to be going with 2 outs.
Talk about that umpire. You know what used to really irritate me, Coney, is when I would see the starting pitcher get taken out from the other side, and as he's walking to the dugout, he would look into the umpire and say, you know, good job, thank you, and just like, you know, whatever. You got that good of a relationship as you're punching me out.
Take him out to dinner.
3-2. Grounded to third. Tough hop, and McGee tags Gentry on the way by. So Epley comes on and does the job, but 2 runs on just 2 hits, and the bases are left loaded. Yankees have just 1 hit against Holland. They'll come up in the bottom of the 6th. Jason Nix, the only hit, a leadoff single in the third against Holland. Yankees are down 4-0, and Ichiro Suzuki leads off and takes a strike. Ichiro, Stewart, and Jeter here in the sixth. Quickly the count 0-2.
Tells you something about Holland's day today, how efficient he is with Ichiro just his second at bat here in the bottom of the sixth.
Grounded and diving stop by Beltre. He has no play. Boy, he is flashing the leather, but he could not get the speedy Ichiro. An infield single.
Ichiro staring at a triple. Beltre says,
Sometimes you do the, I mean, you make a great play, but a smart decision. You know, why make an off-balance throw it away? I mean, you did your job by keeping the ball in the infield. Michael, you said it. I mean, he has made some great plays down at third base today.
Here's Chris Stewart. And he fouls that back. Dribbled slowly to Beltre. And he gets Stewart as Ichiro advances to second. That's going to bring up Jeter.
You know, Paulie, you know, when they traded for Ichiro, you know, the reports were is that the Yankees, you know, hierarchy sent him a little list of demands. So you see Jeter come up 0-2. You know, you're going to bat down in the bottom of the order. You're not going to play against lefties. We need you to play left field. And he said, yes, 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 right away. Now, as the season starts to unfold down the stretch here, I think it's going to be hard to keep that guy out of the lineup.
Yeah.
Because you got to factor in his defense as well. His speed, his defense, his ability to make things happen. It's exactly what the Yankees were missing last year in the playoffs, and they kind of got shut down by Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, there's an option when you have him in there, and you get in a close game, and you get him on, you know, on base. You can score with another option with speed.
Jeter dumps one into right center field. It's a base hit. Ichiro rounds third. He's coming home. Here's the throw. He's in there. Jeter goes to second. Yankees on the board. An RBI for Jeter, and it's 4-1 Texas.
Tony, we just talked about Beltre making a good decision after he made a play, not even making a throw. Right here, this is a bloop single. Ball gets in on his hands. He pulls the barrel in. And right here, you can't make this throw. You are not going to throw Ichiro out at home plate. And it just allows Derek Jeter to cruise into second. And this play, I guarantee, is driving Holland crazy, because there goes the double play opportunity by keeping the guy on first base. I mean, the damage is done. You've got a hit. Ichiro's going to score. Got a 4-run lead.
It's a case in point, too. You know, Ichiro manufacturing a run. Slaps it down third base line. Beltre can't throw him out. Another ground ball to Beltre. Ichiro's too quick to second. He can't get the force. Now Ichiro and Jeter trade places.
And now it's grounded up the middle for a base hit. Jeter rounds third. He's coming home. He'll score. It's an RBI single for Swisher. And now it's 4-2 Texas. Ninth ribby for Swisher in this series.
Yeah, Nick Swisher's coming through with men in scoring position. Kind of a Derek Jeter swing there. You see his hands come close to his body. Drive it up the middle. Jeter gets a good read on it, and again, no chance to throw him out. Keep that runner at first base. You know, Coney, you talk about, you know, the Texas Rangers have lost 3 in a row here, and they came in playing pretty well, but they're not scoring runs. And you got to feel, if you're Holland, you know, they gave you 4 runs. You might not get any more. They're just not putting people away right now. So you really got to pitch to that scoreboard right now.
So Jeter with his single extends his hitting streak to 12 straight. And Swisher extends his to 5 straight. They count 1-1 now on Teixeira.
Yeah, a couple of slaps and a bloop, and you cut the lead in half. Puts in some speed in there as well.
Fouled straight back here. We told you earlier that Teixeira has 3 career home runs off Holland. Well, he's 0 for 2 so far today. A pop up to short and a ground ball to short. Most of the right side of the infield is open for Mark as they shift even as a right-handed batter for him. Young is shaded up the middle. He's still on the second base side of the bag. But with Moreland holding on Swisher, it's a lot of real estate. Yankees finally awaken here in the 6th. The 2-2. Still 2-2.
Started by Ichiro at the bottom of the order. Ichiro now hit 293 as a Yankee. 22 for 75. He's got a homer, 11 ribbies, 6 runs, and 3 stolen bases. And that guy, for me, Paulie, he's got to be in the lineup.
Yep.
That's my whole point for this. That guy, I'm putting him in the lineup every chance I can.
I mean, he hits, he scores runs, he's done it his whole career, and that's what you brought him in here to do.
Count full, 3-2. Did he hold up? No, he did not. He goes around, so Teixeira down on strikes for the second out. That was ball 4, but he could not hold up.
Yeah, Holland knows about the numbers Teixeira has. Going to go off speed 3-2 and get Teixeira. The slider down and in. No doubt about it.
Now here's Andrew Jones, and he can make up for his misplay in left field with a big hit here. He's 0 for 2. He's 1 for his last 16. That one's driven deep to left. There it goes. See ya. He made up for it. A 2-run shot, and the game is tied at 4.
Ron Washington is looking at Beltran and the way he reacted to that ball. I'm sure we'll get a good clips of it, but Andrew Jones out in front. An off-speed pitch that he got up in the zone and he just hammered it to left field.
Just that fast. 4-0, 4-4.
Definitely fair. Now, if that Syracuse sign is in fair territory, that's a fair ball.
Beltre is saying that's a foul ball. They're going to go check now. A review. One umpire stays out on the field. The other 3 go back and look at the replays.
That's going to be an easy one.
Very clearly a fair ball. Beltre, with authority, said it was foul, but every replay we see, it doesn't even seem like there's a chance it's fair, but we'll see what the umpires say. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. It started with an infield single by Suzuki. Chris Stewart then grounded to third. The umpires say fair ball, so it is a 2-run home run, and it's a 4-4 game. They didn't need much time because that didn't seem to be close, at least replay-wise. So the third base umpire, Vic Carapazza, got it right, and he got it right to the tune of a Coors Light cold hard blast.
We talked early in the game about Andrews struggles at the plate, but he's capable of doing this, and that's hitting a big home run off a lefty. Anytime you tie the game up late in the game, it's considered a big home run. Breaking ball or changeup? Something off speed.
Spinning right there, sped up his bat.
That's got to feel good for Andrew Jones, who crumpled under the sun and allowed that inning to start in the top of the sixth to allow 2 runs in. So he gets those 2 runs back with 1 swing, and he has been slumping with the bat as well. So that's big for the veteran, and it's a 4-4 game. So new game right here in the bottom of the sixth. Here's Casey McGee, and he hammers one down the left field line. No replay for that. That's a foul ball.
You saw that with your naked eye?
I could see that with no clothes on my eye.
No glasses, nothing.
Nothing. So Ichiro the single. Stewart moves him to second. Jeter an RBI single for a 12-game hitting streak. Moves to second on the throw home. That one is driven out to right center field. Olt, the long run, drops the ball. McGee will be at second. He'll stop right there. A nightmarish inning for the Texas Rangers.
We got a feel for Olt. It's not his natural position. Does a good job. Gets a good break on it. Instead of looking into his glove. There's something about this game that finds youth and finds how to make mistakes. You see that just went off the side, never hit the pocket.
And that is an E9. And the ball caroms away off the glove. He scrambles after it. By then, McGee is on second. And that E9 knocks Derek Holland out of the game. So Holland's opus is over. It's 4-4. They're going to bring in Sheppers. Yankee fans interact with each other and the broadcast booth while watching the game. See what other fans are tweeting about and get up-to-the-minute scores and in-depth pitch-by-pitch stats, all at YesNetwork.com. Tanner Sheppers, his 25th game.
Only 4 walks, 22 and a third innings.
Go-ahead runs at second base. It's a 4-4 game, bottom of the sixth. Russell Martin at the plate. He's 0 for 2. Sheppers deals outside.
Funny how you hear so many people kind of bring down the Yankees. All they can do is hit home runs and this and that. But it's such a luxury to have home run hitters when you're behind in the game. All of a sudden, I mean, Holland looks like he's in total control of this game. Next thing you know, 4-4 tie game, and you seldom do that by just singles and doubles. You have to throw, you know, some power in there to throw up a number like that.
A couple bloops and a blast.
Count 3-0.
Give a shout out to the ALS Association, Michael, upstairs in the suite level today. The Greater New York chapter, Doreen Gordon, going to have their 18th annual Lou Gehrig Sports Awards benefit. Planning it right now as we speak up there. What a great organization.
They turn him loose on 3-0. It's a base hit to center field. McGee will score. An RBI single from Martin, and the Yankees down 4-0 have put a 5 spot on the board to take the lead.
Boy, every time you see Russell Martin get a big hit, you just root for this guy. He's been battling all year. Lately, it looks like he's getting closer and closer to becoming a good, confident hitter. And again, 3-0. What a time to stay within yourself, hit it up the middle, score that guy from second base.
Five runs in. And here's Jason Nix as the Yankees have batted around.
Boy, every once in a while as a manager, you just think, wow, did I pull one out of my hat today? You got Russell Martin DHing, coming in the game, hitting 197, but he gets a huge hit. Andrew Jones hitting fourth. 213. He's a 2-run homer. So sometimes everything you plug in works. Those eye black now. They're little like stickers. In the old days when Mattingly, those guys, they get that smear to them. No longer.
Mattingly did it very well.
He was a pro.
Yeah.
He was a pro.
That's old school there. Nix.
Yeah.
Painted on.
I always thought it looked cool, but I always ended up rubbing it all over my face, so I couldn't do it. I kind of wore the stickers on there.
Have you seen Bryce Harper's look? He
No.
kind of does the football look
Yeah.
with a big triangle. And
Either the football look or, you know, a member of KISS.
Kiss is out on tour. I saw a commercial last night.
You're there. The 1-1 runner goes. And the ball is dropped by Giovanni Soto, a stolen base for Russell Martin. So now he's in scoring position.
Wow, you talk about a turn of events. Again, Holland looked like he's in total control of this game. And next thing you know, you're running, you're getting home runs, base hits. Clanked that one, didn't come up with it.
Strike 3. Nix down looking. But the Yankees take the lead. They score 5 runs. The big blow off the bat of Andrew Jones right down the left field line. Snakes around the foul pole. And that made it 4-4. By the time the inning's over, 5-4 Yanks. Nissan dealer. 5-6-0 Yanks, 4-7-1 Texas. Beltre 2-run single. How about Jones's 2-run home run? That tied the game at 4, and then Russell Martin gave the Yankees the lead with an RBI single. So 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Yankees have taken the lead. They've taken Ivan Nova off the hook, and now they put the onus on their bullpen to get this done. The Cadillac scoreboard, 5-6-0, leading 4-7-1. And Cody Epley now is the pitcher of record on the winning side. Derek Holland, the pitcher of record on the losing side. Michael Young leads off the 7, takes a pitch inside, 1-0. Young is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Pitch outside by Epley.
Just something about a day game. Once again, at Yankee Stadium, Paul. You know, all the kids and the ambiance. Just special things happen during the daytime.
Colors, the camp colors. Mike always talking about the camp. You see the campers out in left field there.
That one is served into right field. It is a base hit off the end of the bat by Michael Young. Nick Swisher will hold Young to a single.
Michael Young again loves to go to right field. Hits this ball off the end of the bat. Just enough of it.
Well, with the tying run on first base, Joe Girardi's going to go to a left-hander to face Josh Hamilton and wants to keep him in the ballpark. Here comes Logan. Game another time around. If you miss any of the big hits and great plays, just watch the encore later every night or again the next morning at 9. Brought to you by Verizon Fios.
You ever watch a movie, Michael, and the second time around you pick up things you didn't see the first time?
Yeah.
When you do a game with Coney, that's what happens. You watch it the second time and some of those in-depth things, scouting reports really jump out at you.
So another reason to watch.
Yeah.
Boone Logan has had a good year for the Yankees. 49 strikeouts in 39 and a third innings. Opponents hitting .217 against him. And he's going to have to face Josh Hamilton, a tough customer. 2 home runs yesterday, 2 doubles today.
We had a late encore last night, Paulie. About 3:30 in the morning. I'm flipping through. There it is.
I saw some stuff on TV last night I haven't seen in a while either. The power packing late at night.
Tried to go to bed. I tried to get my rest.
Yeah.
Had a pint of Haagen-Dazs when I got home. That kept me up a little bit.
That'll do it for you.
Pitch outside to Hamilton. Actually took a pitch. 1-0. He's been effective against everybody. Lefties hit .221. Righties hit .211. Missed outside. 2-0.
Only problem was it was hard to fit that pint of Haagen-Dazs in my Guinness, you know. It's my own version of a car bomb.
A Guinness float. Never heard of that.
The 2-0. Strike.
3 consecutive breaking balls.
Hamilton has faced Logan 4 times, has yet to get a hit off the Yankee lefty.
Careful here.
2-1. Goes fastball but misses away, 3-1. And Adrian Beltre is on deck. He wants to see if he's getting a green light. No, green light 3-1. Of course he does. My bad. Want to see if anything was on, sending the runner.
I tell you, I mean, you see it going back to a slider. If you started him out for them, you might as well stay with it.
Could not hold up.
We're so confident with Josh Hamilton, as aggressive as he is as a hitter, that, you know, he's going to bite on that slider. Now 3-2 is a little bit different, but 3-1, that's definitely a hitter's count. He's so strong that he just stops that bat. Another slider, Coney. What do you think?
Yes.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Got up.
It's one of those at bats you go back as a hitter and you think, you know what? If I would have just taken every pitch, it would have been ball 4.
This is a really good one. Close enough that it's hard not to offer it that. It does end up off the plate. That's a lot better one than the 3-1. You see the slider spin.
Beltre takes inside.
For the confidence in Boone Logan here with 1 out. Can hold the runner on first. Jabba Chamberlain's ready to go, but you got Murphy on deck.
Notice, Coney, when you get that sound out in the bullpen, everybody throws like 100 out there. Ball just big pop sounding, and boy, when you're in right field, you can look back there and think, God, he's warming up, because it's popping in that bullpen. Good acoustics out there.
Yeah, the bullpen catcher's glove too. You always love that ego mitt, we call it. Build up your ego kind of mitt. A little newer, a little harder.
Two and one.
Goose Gossage. Back in that old Kansas City Royals bullpen in Kansas City with all the concrete around it. My goodness.
You're hearing grunting and the ball popping.
Playing catch with Teixeira. Serves that one into right field, a base hit. Young stops at second, and Swisher comes up throwing. So first and second, 1 out, and David Murphy coming up.
Texas, I mean, this is what they do. Up and down the lineup, guys can hit. Beltre, if he starts staying in right field, he'll pull the breaking ball. This is a good sign for Ranger fans when he's going to start shooting the ball to right field again.
Off-speed pitch as well. Be able to stay back on that. And Logan missed his location. Talk about the signs here. Man on second base. Reliever comes in.
It's funny, you just talked about Josh Hamilton yet to get a hit off Boone Logan. And Murphy's 3 for 5 off of Logan. So it just no really rhyme or reason in that few of it at bats, but sometimes you know some lefties you just pick up better than other lefties.
See that on base percentage. Murphy, a tough out, 378.
Count 1-0. Murphy fouled out to third in the first, struck out in the third. RBI single left center in the sixth. Tying runs at second. Yankees lead 5-4 in the top of the seventh. There's a strike. Likes his slider today. He's been throwing it a lot. Murphy actually hits very well against left-handed pitching. 372. He hits 282 against righties. Check the swing.
A lot of times lefties with closed stances, you'll see his front shoulder open, have a tough time in seeing the ball off a lefty, but Murphy kind of opens up, gets a good look at the ball, and you see he's able to hold off those sliders. Same pitches that Josh Hamilton was swinging at.
Line drive down the right field line. It's a base hit. It's going to go into the corner. Michael Young will score. Beltre is heading to third. They're going to hold him up. They will hold him up on the double by Murphy that tied the score.
Well, all of a sudden this game looks like it's going to go back and forth. Both teams seem to have waken up offensively. They're already back out to the mound, but Murphy does a good job. You see why he hits lefties well. He doesn't try to do too much. I mean, he waits long. That ball kind of hangs out over the plate. He doesn't try to pull off of it.
So Girardi will go to the bullpen. He's going to bring in Jabba to face Soto. Second and third. One man out. Tomorrow at 6 with Audi batting practice today and the pregame. Then after the game on My 9, you got to turn back the yes for Tri-State Ford extra innings. And Saturday and Sunday, come back after the nationally broadcast games for post-game coverage with Tri-State Ford extra innings. It's our post-game show and it's only on yes. 5-5 game here in the top of the seventh inning at a sunny Yankee Stadium. A beautiful Thursday matinee in the Bronx. And the Yankees go to their fourth pitcher. It's Jabba Chamberlain. Big spot for him, his sixth game. 4 2/3. He's given up 9 hits, struck out only 2. And what we've seen of Jabba, he's got a very live fastball, but he seems to be throwing his slider an awful lot and staying away from the fastball, which has been clocked at 97 miles an hour. So we'll see what he does here against Giovanni Soto. They'd love a strikeout with the infield in. Soto 1 for 2 with a sac bunt. Beltre's a go-ahead run at third. Murphy is at second. Infield is in. There's a strike. That was his 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
job is you just hope progressing. Every time out that he shows a little bit more. I mean, he was gone a long time, and this is a big opportunity for him to get a couple big outs.
Throws that slider in the count 0-2.
The last piece of the puzzle is command. It's easy to do rehab starts and get your arm strength back and light up radar guns in the minor leagues. But up here in the big leagues, it's being able to spot it as well and get that slider down to get the swing and miss.
Swing and a miss, got him. Big strikeout, 2 away.
You've seen a lot of strikeouts and a lot of swing and misses on this slider, the one that starts on the outside corner against the Rangers his whole series, and Kuroda was the one that kind of started it. A lot of these guys are learning that's a good way to get these Texas hitters out.
Now showing a lot of faith in Jaba's ability to throw strikes as they will intentionally walk Moreland to load the bases, and they'll have Jaba deal with Craig Gentry.
It's a great 0-2 pitch by Jaba, 89 miles an hour. Hard slider right there in a good spot.
So the second time today that Moreland will be intentionally walked. There's ball 3. And there's ball 4. So Moreland walks. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Gentry. Gentry has driven in a run at the last intentional walk of Moreland. He grounded into a fielder's choice but picked up an RBI. He is 0 for 3. Got 2 pretty good hitters on the bench in Ian Kinsler and Nelson Cruz. But Washington said, I want to give them the day off because they need it. They're not swinging the bats well, and they have the day off. Off-speed pitch up and away, 1-0.
Courtney, you like the automatic? Did you like the opportunity of trying to throw those perfect pitches, and if you get behind, then you walk it?
Yeah, it depends on the situation. I don't know if Jaba's in a spot right now where you want to mess around with him, but as a starting pitcher, I might want a little leeway there, to see if you can get a guy to chase.
One thing, I loved it as a hitter. I couldn't stand positions where I thought they were pitching around you, but and so you were jumping rope on one pitch, and then it was a strike away, and a jumping rope, and it was such just an easier at bat, obviously, when they just put 4 fingers up, and you didn't have to worry if the pitcher was pitching around you or not.
95-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike, 1-2.
Yeah, remember the old World Series play with Oakland where they faked it, the catcher standing up, and then fire back down. You never see that one anymore.
Billy Martin, wasn't it? Yeah.
No. I think that was Dick Williams.
Was it?
Yeah.
Dick Williams and Gene Tennis behind the plate. Raleigh Fingers pitching, I think. Faking like you're going to walk him and then pop back down in your stance.
The 1-2. Popped up. And out of play. 97 miles an hour.
Good signs from Jaba. More improvement once again each outing, a little bit better. 1 pitch away from really picking up the Yankees right here and keeping this game tied. A great sign if he's able to do that, because he has shown improvement every outing. Could be a big lift for the Yankees with this power arm down the stretch run.
The big right-hander sets, and the 1-2. Just missed outside with a power slider. He checked his swing, said Tim Timmons. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. Did he go?
Good job by Gentry to lay off of that.
And the pitch. Line drive up the middle, a base hit for Gentry. 2 runs will score. A 2-run single for Craig Gentry, and now it's 7-5 Rangers.
Java, you talked about the last thing to come is location, and if you look at this pitch, it ends up right over the middle of the plate. Velocity doesn't matter when it's right down the chute. That ball just tailed back over the middle of the plate.
We give Gentry a lot of credit there. Good at bat. Short and quick, laying off the slider previously. Right back up the box for 2 ribbies.
Java's head into center field. So the Rangers led 4-0, then trailed 5-4. Now they're up 7-5. And Boone Logan can barely watch. Nelson Cruz will now pinch hit for Mike Alt. .96 mile-an-hour fastball strike.
Java has been giving up some hits, but you got to figure, Coney, you know, if you're 96, 97, as good a slider, that, you know, it is a matter of time before he finds that location.
0-2.
Every once in a while, I think Java can get a little predictable. I think if you'll watch his patterns of pitching. If he went with an inside fastball right here, you know, it's strike 3 every time in certain situations. You go back to that slider off the plate.
A lot of times it takes doubling up too. David Wells, one of the best pitchers I've ever seen at that. You know, right after that pitch, you think you're going to go to the slider, right back to doubling up in.
Ground ball to Jeter. He'll go the short way. They just get the force as Gentry goes in hard. And that'll do it. But 3 runs here in the 7th inning with 2 runners left. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Rangers lead the Yankees 7-4, but will stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
As we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now, joining Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
At 7-5, Texas. Nelson Cruz, who pinch hit for Olt, takes over in right field. And now the Texas bullpen will try to hold on to this lead on the Cadillac scoreboard, 7-11-1, leading 5-6-0. And Ichiro will lead off, and he led off the 5-run sixth inning. Pitch is high at 1-0, so Tanner Shepard's still in there. He relieved Derek Holland, so Holland is off the hook. Ground ball through for a base hit. So Ichiro's 2 for 2.
Again, this is his game, man. Slap the ball around, keep it on the ground, beat out some infield hits. Some of them will find holes.
Early in the count, he looks to pull a little more. You can see he's looking to pull. You know, we talked about Ichiro in batting practice. He's kind of like Wade Boggs. He just launches home runs in that short porch. And kind of get the sense Ichiro's looking in here. That's a ground ball, finds the hole. Ichiro with 2 at-bats in 2 innings. It took him 6 innings to get his first 2 at-bats.
Conference on the mound as the Yankees call back Chris Stewart, and they're going to send up Raul Ibanez, which has some ramifications because your only other catcher is Russell Martin, and Martin is the DH. So by this move, they will lose their DH, and the pitcher will be batting in this spot, the number 9 spot in the order. So Girardi's trying to tie it with 1 swing. And after the pinch hitter was announced, Ron Washington is going to go to the bullpen and bring in one of his 2 left-handers. It's going to be Michael Kirkman against Raul Ibanez. When we get back, stay right here. Big plays from today's finale and get you the latest news from around baseball. Plus, Meredith Marakovitz is in the clubhouse with the team's reaction, including Joe Girardi's manager's report. It's the WB Mason postgame. It is only on TEX. So Michael Kirkman comes on to face the pinch hitter Raul Ibanez. Those are the numbers on Kirkman. This will be his 17th game, so a strikeout per inning, but too many walks. 26 base runners in 22 2/3 innings.
It's kind of the game that you expected when this series started, that every game, you know, both offenses kind of clicking back and forth. It hasn't been this way till today.
Pretty nice bench the Yankees have remaining. Chavez, Granderson, and Cano.
Got to figure that Texas goes into the lead, that Joe Nathan will be in there in the bottom of the ninth, so you got some lefties that you can throw at him.
Swing and a miss. Not sure of Cano's availability. Second straight game he didn't start because of a stiff neck, which he suffered just sleeping the wrong way.
You're in that Texas dugout. There's a lot of outs left in this game. You're looking, well, we get, nice comeback. Gave up the lead. Now you got it again.
Nice play by Mick Kelleher. He makes a friend.
Just get the sense with Ibanez, he's not worried about getting down 0-2 here. We've seen him time and time again battle back from these types of counts and still get a good at bat. Kirkman tough though.
Kirkman not your typical lefty coming out of the pen, flipping sliders up there is a hard thrower.
The 0-2. Oh, very close.
See, Ibanez kind of got buckled there, and it's a helpless feeling as a lefty. You just hope that he doesn't get the call. See that for whoa.
Late breaking high slider.
One, two. Now 2-2. We're in the bottom of the seventh, a seesaw game. Rangers led 2-0, then 4-0, then they trail 5-4, then 3 runs in the seventh. They lead 7-5, but as David said, many outs to get for this Ranger bullpen. Yankees looking for a 4-game sweep. Two. Grounded to first. Fair ball. They do not get the double play.
I'll tell you what he did do, Coney, is he fought back and got into a fastball count, and he got his fastball, just got on top of it. But again, Ibanez, especially as a pinch hitter, gives you a good at bat. Took those tough sliders, got a fastball, just hit on top of the ball.
Bang, bang, but Ibanez beat it out. Here's Derek Jeter now with Ibanez at first. Derek, an RBI single in the sixth, extended his hitting streak to 12 straight.
Talked about Jeter leading the American League this year against batting average against lefties. Coming into this game, 372, and this is where he looks to shoot one to right. He gets a fastball up and out over plate, trying to tie this game up.
Now 2-0.
5 opposite field home runs this year for Jeter out of those 9. Good time to look for a fastball up and out right here.
It's weird because you really don't. It's not like you have to crush one to right center here. It takes a good swing with a pitch up and away. You're right, and you've got a tie game.
2-1.
Except every once in a while the pitchers don't cooperate, Crony. They just don't throw it where you want it.
Jeter's next home run will put him in double digits, and the Yankees can run out a lineup where just about everybody up and down is double-digit homers.
This should be 2. But he threw the ball away. Everybody's safe. Ibanez should stay at second. Oh, he was going to go off second. He is safe. And the Yankees have runners on first and second, 1 out. A beautiful grab of the ground ball by Andrews, but then a bad toss to Young.
Seen Andrews, I mean, he's athletic, but again, you've got to get that first out. Michael Young has to come off the bag to catch it. Good calls, they're both safe.
And they're going to give a base hit to Jeter on that.
Hometown loving right there for a base hit. You know, Andrews is so athletic. I mean, it's hard to fault him for trying to get the double play out of that. But with a 2-run lead late in the game, you'd like to make sure it won. But we've seen him make that play many times. So it's hard to question, you know, whether that was a risky flip or not, because he's very capable of making those type of plays.
This has not been a real good day fundamentally and defensively overall for the Texas Rangers. Here's Nick Swisher with the tying runs on base here in the bottom of the 7th. After a trip from Mike Maddox, Kirkman deals low.
Changing the count, Tony. That ball looked like it was right there, and you got ball 1. Such a difference as a pitcher and a hitter, and ahead in the count and behind.
We've seen in this game, and really this whole series, Texas is losing the game of the little things. A couple of errors, overthrows from the outfield that set up another run. The catcher's boxed up a couple pitches. Just the little things that have gone against Texas this whole series. Untimely errors, allowing Yankees to take extra bases.
There's a strike, 2-1.
This ballpark, you give the Yankees extra outs, you're going to pay the price.
We've really seen it recently too, that they're starting to get big hits. They're starting to hit more home runs again, and it's like if you give them an extra out, something bad's going to happen.
Now 3-1. Now Mark Lowe is up. Sounds fast.
But they're hard thrower in the bullpen.
3-1. And he walked him. The bases are loaded.
Decisions on the Texas bench. You got a short porch and right. You got a switch hitter. You got to keep him to the big side of the ballpark. Keep the lefty in. That's what I would do.
He's one of the true RBI guys in the New York lineup. Mark Teixeira knows how to drive in runs. It's just a horrible place to be if you're Ron Washington. You're kind of caught behind the 8 ball. You got a switch hitter, drive in runs from both sides of the plate, but you've got to take your chances and try to keep him from the right side.
Yankees once again in another position to hit a grand slam. Teixeira with 7 of them in his career.
Bases loaded with the Yankees. The tying runs at second. Yankees trail 7-5, bottom of the 7th. Ground ball is short. They get 1. And not in time at first. Swisher went in hard at second base, upending Young. And that allowed Teixeira to beat it out. Scoring is Ibanez, and now it's 7-6 Texas.
Well, you're on the mound. Well, you're feeling it. Andrews gets it there. Swisher, good job. Bearing on down. So Young cannot get enough on this throw. That's all Swisher there. Just nothing on that throw. And you're on the mound. You want it. You want that bat. Oh, I needed that one.
Now Ron Washington has another decision. With Andrew Jones due up, he's got the lefty on the mound. If he brings him low, then the Yankees are going to counter with Granderson. And I guess it's not that hard a decision. You don't want Granderson hitting in this ballpark against the righty, so you'd rather have the lefty against Andrew Jones. And Jones had that big 2-run home run in the bottom of the 6th inning to tie the game at 4. There it is. First and third, 2 men out here in the 7th. And the pitch is low, 1-0. Strike. Derek Jeter's a tying run. He's at third base. He has to be alert in case something gets by. Foul back here and out of play.
Once in a while you see Andrew Jones do this. Good pitch to hit. Worst thing you can do as a hitter is foul it off. And what you do is you try to do just a little bit too much. You see this is a long home run swing, all or nothing. Now you put yourself in a hole with 2 strikes.
That's the way I used to swing the bat in Conway Park in my wiffle ball game. Trying to back leg it.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Goes around on the breaking ball, and that will do it. But the Yankees get 1 run back on 2 hits and 2 runners left. 7 in the books. It's 7-6 Rangers. We're going to the 8th. Text your vote to 42951 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Adrian Beltre, number 2, Andrew Jones, number 3, David Murphy, number 4, Craig Gentry. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. So the Yankees do some maneuvering, and we almost get into a National League sort of lineup as Ibanez stays in left field, taking Andrew Jones's place. Russell Martin takes over behind the plate. He was the DH. So that means that the pitcher, Jabba Chamberlain, is now hitting in the cleanup spot vacated by Andrew Jones. Yankees lose their DH. Hyundai scoreboard 7-6 Texas. And Andrews takes a strike.
opens up the opportunity that if Joe Girardi has to make a pitching change in this inning, that you might see a double switch in the American League.
Fouled away.
So on the good news front, I think, Meredith Marakovich talked about this a little bit. As you see Rapata, the lefty, getting it going. That Sabathia had a good day today, throwing on flat ground. Said it felt really good, even though he didn't throw off the mound. Remains defiant that he will make it that start.
Punched out toward right field. It is a base hit for Andrews. It gets past Swisher in the corner. Andrews had broken it down. Now he's going for 3. And he will make it. So that is a big misplay out there by Swisher. They got too close to the wall, and he got too close to the wall that rolled by him.
Andrews, he just flips one to right, good speed. And he's going for 2 all the way here. Nick Swisher's going to have to make a heck of a play to try to get him at second. He tries to cut it off. It happens, Coleman.
That scored a double and an E9. And that forces the Yankees to bring their infield in with some dangerous hitters coming up. Fouled away.
Well, what's that feel like, Paulie, when that ball comes to your legs and you got to turn around and go get it?
No, it's a horror. It seems so simple too, but you're worried about the wall, and the next thing you know, you've kind of taken your eye off the ball, and it's just nothing there between the wickets when that glove doesn't catch it.
You saw Young's numbers too off of Jabba here.
Grounded to second. Nix checks the runner back and fires to first. 1 down.
Michael Young, another one of those guys that, even though he's a veteran hitter, very aggressive, likes to swing the bat. Jabba does a good job of keeping that ball down, keeping the ball in the infield.
So they are going to intentionally walk Josh Hamilton.
An easy decision here. You set up a double play and you pitch around Hamilton.
Yeah, 34 and 101 on August 16th.
Yeah.
Josh Hamilton have in the power department.
And making those numbers even more amazing is that his July was so dreadful, and still just amazing numbers. If he finished the season right now, they'd be amazing numbers.
You talked about it, Mike. Well, let me give you some numbers here. April, Josh Hamilton, 395. May, 344. June, he started to slow down, hit 233. But in July, like you talked about, hit 177. Now he's bounced back in August, back over 300 at 302.
Here's Adrian Beltre. He's 2 for 3. Yankees looking for the double play as the infield backs up. And the count 1-0.
This is kind of a confusing batter right now, because in my mind, he wants to pull the ball. He wants to back leg it and pull it. But last time up, he shot a ball to right field. So if you're pitching, Coney, has he changed his approach for today, or is he still trying to hook that ball to left field?
Count 2-0.
One thing, even if his approach was to right, now in a 2-0 count, it's changed. A lot of these guys in the Rangers team, they get in hitters counts, fastball counts, and they look to hit the ball in the seats.
got away with a hanging slider and the count 2-1.
Yes, he did. Beltre in his eyes could not resist.
Two one. 3-1.
Beltre's in this at bat is laid off the tough sliders away, but again, he's in that fastball count, so you really have to try to keep this ball away. He's looking to hook that ball to left field.
Popped up, shallow left. Ibanez makes the catch. Andrews is tagging. Here's the throw. Not in time. A sac fly off the bat of Beltre, and the Rangers now lead 8-6.
That's just a position right there. Ibanez did everything right. He just doesn't have a great arm, and Andrews has good speed. When you have a lead, take a chance, make him throw him out at home plate. See this ball hit, then didn't have that hop to it.
Second hop. Killer.
Really slows down on that second hop, doesn't it, Cody?
There's David Murphy, 2 for 4 with 2 ribbies and a run scored. Count 1-0.
Big run, Mike. Well, anytime you can get a 2-run lead in Yankee Stadium, I mean, as many home runs as hit in here, you know, your 2-run lead is such a big thing.
Count 1-1. Yankees have used 4 pitchers. Ivan Nova started, was not as good as he was in Toronto. And Cody Epley, Boone Logan, and Jabba Chamberlain. Right now, Logan is the pitcher of record. Be the 33rd pitch for Jabba. Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Murphy with 3 hits as Hamilton goes to third, and runners on the corners now with 2 outs.
I'll tell you one thing, Josh Hamilton, you know, you don't think about his power, you think about his size. He gets around the bases pretty good. I mean, he went from first to third there without even a blink, and he is a center fielder, obviously, so he does have some speed, but you don't realize how quick he is.
Clay Rapata in the Yankee pen. You know, you take a look at Hamilton and you wonder where he would rank if he didn't fall into the vicious throes of addiction and was out of the game for so long. There were scouts that scouted him out of high school when he was a #1 pick for Tampa Bay and said he's about as good a talent as they've ever seen. The kind of skills he possesses. The 0-1. There's a base hit to left field by Giovanni Soto. Scoring is Hamilton. Murphy is going to go to third. The throw comes into second. And now Texas leads 9-6. And Jabba does not look that great on the mound. And he's hearing it from the crowd. So they leave him in there to try to get out the light hitting Soto, and Soto picks up an RBI single. Job is going to depart. Girardi will bring on the lefty Rapata. Yankees are trailing 9-6, 2 outs in the 8th. Stay right where you are.
As some of your favorite Bombers celebrate Hope Week with a visit to Flying Manes, a non-profit organization that delivers horseback riding lessons to those with disabilities. It's Yankees on Deck today after the postgame, and catch a new episode Sunday at noon, only on Yes.
Clay Rapata comes on, and he'll face Moreland. And there's a strike.
A straight up move. Girardi did have the opportunity for a double switch there.
Fly ball. Right center. Ichiro is there. He'll make the play. And that will do it. But two big insurance runs for the Rangers on 3 hits and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and Casey McGee will lead it off. After this game, the Yankees stay right where they are to welcome the Boston Red Sox into town. Tomorrow, the game's on May 9. Pre-game starts at 6 o'clock on Yes. Franklin Morales against Phil Hughes. And then Saturday, the game's on Fox. It's John Lester against David Phelps, making his second start in place of CC Sabathia. That game's on Fox. And then Yankee extra innings on Yes immediately following the game. And then Sunday, it's Josh Beckett. Look at those numbers. You can't believe that's Beckett against Hiroki Kuroda, coming off a 2-hit shutout of the Rangers. That game's on ESPN. It's an 8 o'clock start, and immediately following it on Yes, Yankee extra innings. So we've got your weekend set for you here. Hyundai scoreboard. Texas leads the Yankees 9-6.
We looked at those pitching things, and when Beckett and Lester are 11-20 with a combined like 5.2 ERA, it's not hard to figure out why the Red Sox are where they are.
Mike Adams, the fourth pitcher for the Rangers, will face McGee, Martin, and Jason Nix. Or the Yankees could send up a pinch hitter. They're down by 3.
Chavez in there.
Chavez pinch hitting for McGee.
Yeah, I got mixed up on my scorecard. You know, there's no need to really double switch last inning for Girardi. I get a little happy, a little ahead of myself. The pitcher in the 4 holes now, not due to bat for 8 more spots. Chavez steps in for McGee here.
So, happy about that possible double switch, Coney. We've never seen one in the new stadium, I don't think.
Jumped the gun a little bit.
6-game multi-hit streak, 14 for 23. Hitting .609. Said, I'm not going to feel like this all the time. I might as well take advantage of it. Girardi talked about it today before the game, that when A-Rod comes back, Chavez still going to see time. He's going to rotate the DH position. DH Alex sometimes, DH Teixeira a couple of times, or you can DH Chavez as well. I think they're just going to have to juggle against right-handed pitchers. It's going to be Chavez, Ibanez, and Ichiro battling for 2 spots.
One of the guys that truly uses that DH spot is as a way to get guys at bats and guys days off. In the old days, you know, DHs, Molitor, Chili Davis, guys like that are just penciled in the DH spot every single day. Edgar Martinez. This is kind of a revolving door here.
One, two. 2-2. Adams really falls off the mound toward first base when he delivers a pitch.
Talked about it, Michael. I mean, he really just throws everything at you.
Yeah, almost Bob Gibson-like on the 15-inch mound.
Strike 3. Chavez down looking. Marty Foster punches him out.
Dragging that arm. Marty Foster staring at it. Soto reaching.
Wow.
Ball never hitting the plate, but still a strike.
Body going one way, ball going the other.
Tough at bat as a pinch hitter.
Here's Russell Martin. His single in the 6th inning gave the Yankees a 5-4 lead. Fouls that one back.
What was Gibson's ERA that year? The last year of the 15-inch mound? 1.12. They said, we better lower the mound. We're going to chop off 5 inches. So now we've got 10 inches to work with.
Bob Gibson, used to see him around the locker room a lot. A good friend of Joe Torre's, would come around and still has that presence. As when he walks around, you just knew he was nasty out on that mound.
I think we were about 5 years old, Paulie. 1968.
Just something about that number that sticks in your head because it's just, it doesn't happen. Like Mariano numbers coming out of the pen. Not as it started.
He still lost like 9 games that year with a 1-1-2. Talk about no run support.
One and two.
Next thing you know, we got 10-inch mounds. We got a designated hitter. We got smaller ballparks. And you wonder why pitchers have 5 ERAs. And games last 4 hours, man.
It could be a new rule. You could go to a higher mound on travel day. No?
Rotating mound, yes.
She just plop an extra 5 inches on top of it on travel day.
2-2 to Martin. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Yankees trail 9-6 as the Rangers are trying to salvage the final game of this 4-game set.
Well, fans come here to see home runs. They don't come to see double switches, and they don't come to see shutouts all the time. Although good 1-0 game, still great.
Right to Beltre, and with the soft hands, he handles that bad hop for the 2nd out.
Great hands, Beltre just eats it up. Coming up with it, no problem. Nice and relaxed. Never panics, just stay right with it. Okay, I have plenty of time because I got a cannon.
Tell you what, again, these plays look so easy. That ball's hit hard. He caught it on an in-between hop.
With Jason Nix due up, we're going to see Robinson Cano, who has not started the last 2 games because he had a stiff neck. Girardi was asked today, well, how did he get the stiff neck? He said, the way we all do sometimes, just slept the wrong way.
That's why you never got a stiff neck, Coney, huh? Never laid in bed long enough.
Well, that would be my excuse if I walked in the ballpark with a stiff neck. Oh, yeah, bad pillow. Yeah, that was it.
You do the math here, Paul. At 3:30, he was eating a pint of Haagen-Dazs. So
that's right.
He had to probably get up for about 9 for the ball game.
He was chasing it with a Guinness just to go to sleep, though. It's therapeutic.
So Cano pinch hits for Knicks. Yankees down 9-6. We're in the bottom of the 8th. One and 0. Yankees have one player left on the bench, and that's Curtis Granderson, and they've got to save him in case they get to the number 4 spot in the lineup in the 9th inning, because that's where the pitcher is.
They hope that becomes a problem in this game.
We said that Adam falls off the mound, and this time it's literal. And he waves off the trainer.
Oh, the ankle, the land ankle. The second ankle that came down. You see a little roll. Not the left one, the right one here coming around with the twist. Sometimes you got to laugh at yourself.
The 2-1. 3-1. Cano with a pinch hit walk. And that will bring up Ichiro Suzuki.
Well, Adams features a lot of breaking balls, a lot of sliders. 3-1 pitch, he stuck with it. Talk about something that wouldn't go over well years ago, is walking a guy with a 2-run lead with a 3-1 slider.
That's something that would bring a few screams from the dugout, right? Back in the day.
One and 0. 6th inning, single to third, scored a run. In the 7th inning, he singled through the infield to right field. So Ichiro's 2 for 2. Also sacrificed in the third. Hitting .303 as a Yankee, .268 overall.
Hamilton in center field, or Gentry rather, really shallow and shaded the other way. If Ichiro can find the gap here in right center, maybe inside the Parker, just shoot one right up there. Watch him run, because that is really shallow here with a lot of room behind him. But Gentry's got some wheels though, so he can cover some ground.
He better have a motorcycle to catch that ball, because you're right, he's shallow and he's a left center.
3 for 9 against Adams as a member of the Seattle Mariners. Strike on the outside corner, 2-1.
I guess if you're a slider pitcher, you just stick with it. Whether you throw it overnight, you just keep pumping it in there.
Remember Larry Anderson, the reliever with the Phillies? He came in with a bend elbow.
Yeah.
That's all he threw was sliders.
That's why these guys have become such, specialty guys out of the pen. I mean, you can't be a starter and throw a slider every pitch, but you can come in for an inning.
That one is looped into shallow right center field. A long run for Gentry. Dodge. He can't make the play. Cano rounds third, and for some reason he holds up. Cano should have scored easily on that. There are 2 outs. And Ichiro's on second with a double. Well, we have to take a look at that. There's no excuse for Cano to be on third.
Well, we will. The secondary lead, you see too much ground for Gentry to cover, as we noted before, where his positioning was. Can't see third base coach Rob Thompson and the pitcher there, what he was doing. But Thompson likes to get way down the line to get a late read, and Ichiro takes a shot at that gap, and Gentry just almost gets there, but can't quite. Look at Rob Thompson's way down the line.
We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. They could be picked up by Ibanez right here, but Mike Maddox goes out and has a talk with Adams.
As Cano's, he was running. As he comes around third, he's got to rely on a third base coach at that point. See Rob Thompson coming down the line. You got to trust him right there. I see nothing. There's no read. Not stopping him or sending him.
Well, that's hard to blame Cano then. It just seemed like Cano broke it down just a little bit before he got to third. Because his back is to the plate. He doesn't know the ball got away from Gentry.
With the Yankees down by 3 runs here, certainly you cannot be thrown out at home plate there. Inexcusable. And now you got Ibanez with a chance to tie the game right here with a long ball.
There's a strike. Second and third, 2 men out, bottom of the 8th inning, 9-6, Rangers lead. Yankees again trying to come back. Grounded foul. There's one more look at that play.
Rob Thompson coming. He's kind of bringing him along. Thompson likes to kind of get guys to aggressively round third. That's why he comes down towards home plate, way out of the coach's box, by the way, and able to make a late stop, which gives him longer to be able to read the relay throw. But when in doubt, when you're down by 3 runs with 2 outs, you play it safe and check up.
1-2, swing and a miss, and Ibanez strikes out against Adams. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the 9th inning. Rangers up by 3. Recaps the upcoming Red Sox series and gets us the latest on Alex Rodriguez and Andy Pettitte. Plus, Joe answers your questions from Facebook and Twitter. It's a new Joe Girardi show Sunday at 7:30. It's only on Yes. Craig Gentry will lead off against Clay Rapata in the 9th inning. And that one is bunted. Rapata fields, fires. What a nice play by Teixeira to handle that throw for the first out.
There's really no angle there, and Rapata doesn't come over the top, so it's kind of a sidearm right into the runner. Tough play.
Just grip it and rip it. That's why you got a big glove over there.
Wow.
El Guante.
Yeah, you see that little gold R on that glove too. That means something.
Also means something that Stevie Donahue is coming out with Joe Girardi. See if Rapata hurt himself on that play. Seems like he's okay.
Get another look here.
Looked like a little back stretch, didn't it, Conan?
Yeah, a little hiccup in his giddy up.
And a strike to Nelson Cruz. Fly ball center field. Ichiro got a late start, and he does not make the play. Cruz is going for two. The throw, not in time. Ichiro froze out there in center, and then when he saw the ball was a little bit shallow, tried to make up ground, couldn't do it.
Big hitter, big swing, but it's off the end of the bat. And that's the only thing as an outfielder is you can hear the difference in the sound. Ichiro just got a late break. See the glove go the other way just to knock it down. No chance of catching it.
And Andrews takes a strike. Joe does not want to use Lowe or Robertson or Soriano in a game he's trailing in the 9th inning, so trying to get past these righty batters with Rapata on the mound. Yankees don't have a day off this weekend, obviously, and they don't have a day off until next Thursday. So Joe's trying to keep the bullpen fresh. And there are certain pitchers he'll use in games they're trailing, and those he wants to stay away from when they're trailing. Count 1-2.
Big situations for Rapata. That, a lot of these sidearm guys are just noted to get out one side. Well, if he can show that he can get out some righties, some extra innings.
And there's a base hit for Andrews. Cruz will score as Ibanez gets the ball into Jeter. An RBI single for Andrews, and now it's 10-6 Texas.
Andrews came into this series having just a flaming hot August, and he's continued it today.
With the slider breaking right into him, and that's the difference. The angle of the slider on lefties is so nasty from Rapata to the righty. It looks big.
This should be two. There's one. And they double up Michael Young for the final out. 4-6-3 double play. One run on 2 hits. One man left. We go to the bottom of the 9th and the top of the Yankee order. season for them. Signed him as a free agent, and he's converted 21 consecutive save opportunities. In fact, he's 23 out of 24 in save tries this year. Now, you see the 2.78 ERA? That's because he has a 7 ERA in his last 9 outings, where that pushed his ERA from 1.73 to 2.78. Career, he's had a good one. 284 saves and 317 career opportunities. That's an 89.59% success rate, and that moves him past Mariano Rivera, who has 89.28 for the highest save percentage in Major League history with pitchers with 200 or more saves. So that's some rarefied air for Joe Nathan. Let's see if he can close this one out. About to face the top of the order, Derek Jeter is 2 for 4, then Nick Swisher and Mark Teixeira. The Yankees need to rally. They are down 4. Fouled away.
Give a little love to a local boy once again. I mean, you know, we talked about Mike Holt, the Connecticut kid. You know, people forget Nathan. Pine Bush High School in Pine Bush, New York. Also went to Stony Brook.
And Stony Brook surprised a lot of people by getting the College World Series. Grounded to third. It was a foul ball. And Joe Nathan really did. He donated a lot of money to the Stony Brook program.
They had a run in the basketball last year. They have a decent basketball.
I know they did in baseball. 12 big league season for Nathan with the Giants, the Twins, and now Texas. 5-time All-Star this year. He missed the 2010 season with Tommy John surgery. All-time saves leader for the Twins with 260. The 0-2. 1-2.
Yeah, Michael, you're right. $500,000 in 08 Nathan gave to the baseball to help build a new baseball field at Stony Brook University. Joe Nathan Field.
Grounded to second. Right there is Michael Young. He gets Jeter for the first out here in the 9th. This game, when you take a look at it closely, very sloppy for both teams. A lot of plays that weren't scored errors, obviously mental errors. The sun got in the way, throwing to the wrong base. This is not the type of game that Tom Amansky would be proud of.
No. If I knew Tom Amansky was, I'd
this guy who did all those videos on ESPN, instructional videos.
Yeah, you're right. All right. I didn't watch too many of those.
You were playing. Stony Brook basketball 22-10 this year, Paul, so you were right. They made the NIT tournament, lost to Seton Hall. The 1-0. Fouled away, 1-1.
Nathan's always had really good control, heavy sinking, good fastball, and a really good slider too. Basically, fastball slider. Up to 95 again, you know, and like we've seen with so many pitchers bounce back from that Tommy John elbow surgery, they come back better than ever.
I heard Tommy John today on a radio interview, and he said he wished he had some money for every time they use his name for the surgery. Just missed the first base bag. Moreland steps on the bag for the second out. Swisher didn't run because he thought it was going to be a foul ball, but really no excuse. The Yankees are 1 out away.
Oh, gotta go.
Here's Teixeira. And a strike. Teixeira 6 for 11 with a home run against Nathan. And now he's 7 for 12 as the Yankees are still alive here in the ninth. That one was right through the shift. And now the Yankees will send up Curtis Granderson to pinch hit for Rapata.
Does it for the bench, doesn't it, Mike?
That's it. That is it. Only ones left are pitchers. Granderson 8 for 19 with a home run against Nathan. Granderson 1 for his last 21. He takes a strike as Teixeira advances to second on defensive indifference. The 0-1. 1-1. So sitting for about 3 hours and 40 minutes. Now he comes off the bench and is asked to produce. Chavez is on deck.
On the Rangers side, a big day after jumping up early and then losing that lead, being able to hold on and avoid a sweep here. Very important game for them as they try to go up to Toronto after this day games.
This should do it. Ground ball to Young. And he gets Granderson, and the Rangers win the game 10-6. In the ninth inning, no runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. And Ron Washington happy to get out of here with 1 win out of the 4. And it's a good series for the Yankees as they take 3 of 4 from a very good Rangers team. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy Player of the Game. We're going to wrap things up here at the stadium, then get into the postgame with Bob and Jack and Meredith. Texas wins 10-6.